Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello out there in not TV land, Twitch land.
hello.
I don't know.
Some
In
people watch
living
on their
room
TVs.
land.
in your
In
living
mate
rooms
space.
at home or your bedrooms. Hold up.
Hey.
Or watching this on your phone in the bathroom.
Don't let us know in that case.
Yeah, we don't want to know. Anyway, hi guys, welcome to Dice Tales Live. It's been a long time since our last episode because of some scheduling things. So we're excited to be here and to have you guys with us today for session number 37.
37.
Yeah.
30
Wow.
freaking
The
7.
City of Splendors.
Ooh.
Bum, bum, bum. I totally forgot I'd already named this session and I came up with a totally new name for it. And then I went back to look at my notes and was like, oh,
Nope.
Oh,
City of Splendors.
Peachy Dubs.
save
Yeah.
that for later.
You know what this podcast episode will be? Number
What?
69.
Oh.
Nice.
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 Fitting for our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
It's true. And that's how many hit points Jill has now, which we just learned.
I thought she
Guys,
had
guess
70.
what? Everybody leveled up.
level.
Yay.
'Including the cat.
Including
Yay.
Kati. Well, yeah, we're not going to leave Kati behind.
No.
Who do you think
No.
we are?
No.
Heathens? Anyway. So the party is now level 12, I believe. Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Got your big boy pants on. I heard some cool abilities being bandied around, so we'll see if those come up today or not.
Bandy.
You bandied. So before we get going into the show, let's give some shout outs to our friends and pals and other supporters out there.
Yay.
Brad,
Oh, yeah, that thing.
that sounds like a job
That
for
thing
you.
that I do. So first and foremost, if you will notice in that corner up above Chuck and Liz, we have a link for our friends at Dog Story Theater. Again, Dog Story lost its home due to the pandemic. If you are able, please help us out. Make a small donation. It's a 501c3, so it is tax deductible. And help Dog Story get rehomed because live theater is coming back soon and we want to be a part of it.
Yes, it
is. In honor of our 3-year anniversary, I prepared absolutely nothing for our sponsors.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting it's our anniversary episode today,
It's a
too.
big deal.
I know.
My
It is.
Facebook timeline, like all week, was just me going, am I nerdy enough to play Dungeons and Dragons in front of an audience? Well, 3 years later, the answer is still yes.
Yes.
However, for our sponsors, we have 3 of them, which kind of works with our 3-year anniversary. That's the theme. I
There we
intended
go.
that the entire
theme
time.
is threes.
So first and foremost, proudly sponsored by Gaming Paper. Where are my hands? That way. Gaming Paper, they host our podcast. So check out gamingpaper.com. They also provide a ton of great stuff for mapping out combat,
This is not
whether
what I
it
wanted. This
is
is
gaming
wrapping
paper
paper.
rolls, wrapping paper, dry erase tiles. Now that people are vaccinated and have the ability to meet together in small groups, you can use gaming paper for your Dungeons and Dragons games again.
Hooray.
Check
You
them
can-
out and
you
You can
surprise your
play
party.
D&D in person.
Impossible.
Surprise your party with like really freaking awesome maps from Gaming Paper. Second sponsor, number 2, is Sirenscape. All of the sounds not made by us this evening will be produced by Sirenscape. They have lovely different soundscapes that you can play to add some ambiance to your Dungeons & Dragons game. Again, in person now. So check them out, sirenscape.com. They make lovely noises. And that
That's
was
a great.
weird-
That's
That's their
a great
tagline.
promo.
Make
I'm
lovely
I'm on my
noises.
3rd cup of
Seven.
coffee in under an hour, so
We make
I'm not
lovely
responsible
noises.
for anything that
Lovely
comes out of my
noises.
mouth.
Make lovely noises.
And then last but not least, our friends at Character Case. Liz has her character case. Carrie has her character case. I thought Ross had his around somewhere earlier. Character Case, proud sponsor of the show, has actually sold out of all of their inventory, thanks in large part to Dice Tales.
Wow. No.
So yeah,
No.
check them out on Facebook. Search Character Case on Facebook. They've got some really exciting announcements coming about future product
do.
releases, some upcoming events, potentially a Kickstarter. Who knows?
with new colors. That's the
But yeah,
rumor I hear.
welcome character case for all of the help in moving your product.
If I can finally get a green
Back
character
to you,
case, then I'm gonna be all over that.
Oh,
So just so you know,
I would still choose blue, I think, but it's cool that there
I
will be
love
choices.
blue, but I don't know. I want something different.
Here's the thing. You can have a different
nice to
case
have
for each
options.
character.
Character cases.
I'm totally going to have a different case for each character.
Okay. Some other thank yous are, of course, to our wonderful, lovely, beautiful artist friends who are super talented. Barb Williams, TJ Corbett from On the Line Books, and Isaac Grimaldi, author of The Cursed Death Shaw. Check him out. Follow his serialized fantasy story. Read about some orc stuff. It'll be great.
Read about some orc stuff.
Orc stuff.
That is what it
That's
is.
what it's going to say on
Read
the
about some
dust.
more.
Read about some dorks.
Hashtag
dorks.
or.
Orc.
That's what we call a Freudian slip.
That's exactly. Damn it, Carrie.
And don't forget, if you have action points in storage, which many of you do, because we've still only had one used, I think.
Used very well, though.
And it saved
very
Beyond.
Extremely well.
very well. That you can use those via the chat in the Twitch stream by just saying action point, and then we'll stop the action and re-roll whatever just happened,
I'm watching you.
Yep.
or
And
worse
do that.
or better.
Do that so Beyonce can survive to cook another day.
Yes.
We like having him here.
But only one meal a day.
And
It sates us all, though.
Don't
Yeah,
forget
for 24 hours.
if you're interested in checking out the history of the Children of Destiny, that you can listen to our podcast, which is available in all of the podcast locations, or we actually have all of our Twitch episodes go up on YouTube after they come down off Twitch. So you can go on our YouTube channel, which is also Dice Tales Live, like all our social media, and check us out there. And you can buy our merch on Spring, which used to be Teespring, but is now Spring.
It's so much more than teas. On our spring.com account, you can buy dice pouches, mugs, tank tops, and more.
And springs. We're working on a slinky.
Yeah. Dice Tales Slinky. All right.
And
It's
Rubik's
like
Cube.
dungeons.
I think that's everything. Anybody else have any other announcements? I do want to
All right.
point out now, in case anyone does not stay to the end of the show, that our next show is actually going to be on a Friday instead of on a Saturday night. So I want to give that heads up to people that it will be on Friday, June 18 is what I have down. Is that
That
what
is
everyone
correct.
else has? Good. So it'll be a Friday night. We just couldn't fit a Saturday into our schedule next month. So don't miss us just because you thought it was on Saturday.
Oh, good. I'm free. We're good.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
I was just
I'm
going to
not.
ride around Seamus.
Shit, I'm not.
Well, then we will kill Beyonce off tonight after
Okay.
this recap.
Cool. He'll
So
be real
let's-
happy after today.
Let's go into the recap zone.
After successfully trading their mercenary skills and Beyonce's magical culinary arts for passage aboard the pirate ship, the Scorn, the Children of Destiny settled in for the 7-day journey to Baldur's Gate. Shortly after setting sail, a malevolent seaweed monster managed to lure Beyonce nearly to his death, causing him to reveal his godly heritage and blow their cover. Upon learning that their true destination was not Baldur's Gate, but the Temple of Tyr in Waterdeep, the ship's captain surprised our heroes by offering to take them all the way to their final destination. And that's where we pick up the adventure tonight on Dice Tales.
Right.
Oh, boy.
We return. Okay. Well, we just finished up a long traveling arc in which we, had some party time.
Over the river and through the
Got
woods,
some
under mountains.
Jill backstory in there and such and such. Had an unplanned doppelganger fight that I totally just threw in for like 5 minutes of flavor and turned into half an episode.
Like things usually end up here.
D&D, everybody. Anyways, but after all of that, Waterdeep is finally in sight. Wow. And this is Beyonce's home, as far as any of you can gather. This is where his temple, from which he embarked on the quest to join you all, was. And it seems he has some people waiting for him to come back that he has been speaking with via, I don't know what you would call a ascending sext, but it was pretty much the equivalent of that.
Yep.
Sextending.
Yes, that.
Yes. All right. So, with all of that in mind, you guys can see the city of Splendors as it rises up. Oh, where's my music? As it
I was gonna say,
rises
this
up
feels
to
like an
meet you.
appropriate musical cue.
Hold on, they gotta come in here. It's like, what's missing? There we go.
There we go.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
The city,
Now we're in it.
the jewel of the Sword Coast rises up in front of you. And you have seen many impressive cities in your travels. However, Waterdeep is different in something of its own. It sprawls northward from the sea, spreading along the flanks of Mount Waterdeep. And its walls rise up with a great harbor that you are sailing towards right now on the ship with your new friends. And the city is a melting pot of different folks from around Faerun, and famous mostly for its not just cultural significance, but also in mercantile terms and in terms of its government, which is ruled by the anonymous lords of Waterdeep. You are
Awesome.
all not strangers to anonymous rulers of towns, but it's quite a matter of speculation here in the city.
Weird form of government.
Awesome.
Numerous temples to gods of all types rise up. You can see their spires topped with holy symbols spreading throughout the skyline. And, well, make perception checks.
Which, by the way, Beyonce's just like up on the front of the boat and just giddy.
Amazing. I got a
Like-
32 perception.
Wind blowing in his hair, smelling the brine.
Got 25.
26.
12.
Beyonce, this is it's no surprise
32.
to you, so everyone
Yeah.
else takes note, but you don't really care. Waterdeep has strong walls around its landward sides, but Mount Waterdeep is on the seaward side and is studded with watchtowers and defensive positions. But most notably, you would see griffins flying through the air with mounted soldiers on their backs surrounding Mount Waterdeep.
Wow.
The famous griffin cavalry.
Would you look
Laren
at that?
Laren is nervous and swoops down and lands on my shoulder.
Beyonce, how hard is it to ride a griffin?
I don't know. It's hard enough to get on one. They don't let just anybody do it.
Challenge accepted.
Katia walks over and stands looking at Leith.
Oh.
With like this hopeful look on her face.
Oh. This is your chance.
Gotta look up stats for a griffin because
She was actually just
Left.
in her panther mind was just hoping you could make her fly.
Oh.
That's way easier than turning her into a griffin.
Oh my gosh.
Because she's most definitely watching them soar.
Does Leith make her fly?
Not at the moment.
Oh.
Oh, disappointment for
Womp
Katya.
womp.
Swamp
She can wait.
womps.
She's not great at patience, but she can wait.
And you will be forced to say your farewells to your pirate pals who have
Awesome.
been willing to take you here after your brave shenanigans with the malevolent sea monster.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Beyonce would walk up to the captain as we're like disembarking and just say, "Thank you so much for giving us safe passage. And I want to apologize personally for our ruse."
And Lady Drace takes off her big fancy hat and she just kind of gives a little bow and she says, "I respect you more for the ruse." And she puts it back on.
My favorite NPC in this whole campaign, second only to Jeremy, I guess. Like,
Rip.
wow. Wow. Jill gets her horse out from the bilge.
Yeah, we need to get the horses
survive
out.
the trip.
Oh, did they survive the trip?
They did survive the trip, yes.
They're probably not happy.
No.
They are not happy, but they did survive. So your horses can be taken off. They'll put them down the ramp.
Barty is a parrot, so
And Barty is just riding on
Matilda
Shayna's
is still
shoulders. Still
in
confused.
So there were
And
what, two horses?
Yeah.
Beyonce's and Jill's?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to part with mine. I pet my zebra horse.
Matilda has a better life where she is now.
I call back to, as I pat Noble Silver on the neck, I turn back to, well, my three compatriots in my little fake group. And then also anybody who's getting off the boat, if you've never been here before, you might want to make sure you got everything in your pockets. Make sure no wayward hands get in. Good
The
luck.
problem
And
when it was
Beyonce would actually put on his don his armor and everything now this time as well.
Jill Merrick leans a little closer to you and his hand slips behind you and he says, "No wayward hands."
Smooth.
And I
Callista
smile.
makes a gagging noise.
I flip off Callista and I say, maybe one exception.
He just grins and then he just keeps walking.
Amazing.
Always
Amazing.
with the PDA.
I know, they're disgusting.
As a note, Jill is not wearing the hat of disguise. She's keeping her hood up, but I'm as soon as they're out of sight of the boat, she wants to be herself here.
Callista, what about you?
Oh, I forgot I was wearing one too. Yeah, I'll follow suit, and if Jill is, I will as well.
Okay, you don your regular teal form.
There's nothing to be done with poor bleached Katya, though.
Gotta wait for it to grow out.
Katya's
Unfortunately.
just looking at herself
be-
like,
she's
am I
gonna-
going to magically turn back?
She's gonna look so 90s when it starts to
Aw.
grow.
Yeah,
She's got
her
frosted
she's gonna have
tips.
frosted tips. Yes.
It's gonna be me. Amazing.
I can use
Amazing.
prestidigitation to turn her black for an hour.
She's about to bring us to Flavortown.
Yes, dude. Oh my God.
The docks are very busy. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of people loading up ships and just transportation of passengers to and from different locations, sort of a major hub. So you guys are in the middle of a quite large crowd still, people jostling into you and your horses.
Are there people riding horses through the streets or not so much?
Not so much that you see.
Okay.
The only ones you see on horseback look like they're guards.
Yeah, I'd probably just walk alongside my horse.
Same.
But I want to gather everybody up. Everybody, no, really quick. First of all, do we have the seed?
I look over at
Where's the
Callista.
seed?
I check my bag.
You check your bag. Inside is the seed.
I don't like the way you said
I
that.
know.
Inside,
Building
you
up
find
that
nothing.
suspense, damn it.
You lose.
I gotta amuse myself somehow.
I give it a very tiny nod.
Those pirates. No.
Yeah, well, good.
Good.
Let's walk along. Guys, I'm going home. This is so exciting. Beyonce has like a spring in his step.
Wait, so do you have a place for us to stay, Beyonce, or do we need to arrange lodging?
Yes,
of some
there are
sort?
dormitories at the halls of justice.
I wonder.
Are
if-
we welcome there?
Well, I certainly hope so.
Okay.
They should. You should be.
Yeah, Beyonce, don't you got any kind of pull around here or nothing?
Yeah, actually, let me send a tweet real quick. Now I'm gonna cast sending and say, and I will send it to, how about Father Antorum again, and say,
At Father Antorum.
at Father Antorum.
At Father Antorum official.
I like the idea that there's people pretending to be Father Antorum.
At Padre Antorum.
Padre Antorum.
The real Father Antorum.
Exactly. Real Father Antorium XXX. I'll say, this is Beyonce. We have arrived in Waterdeep, and we have brought a powerful artifact. Please prepare for our arrival. And can my friends stay?
And you get back, we will prepare to receive you all.
Amazing.
Go with
They
blessings.
said you could stay.
Cool.
That's nice of them.
It's like when little kids are getting ready to have a slumber party. It's like, my mom says you can stay the night. Like,
Can my friends stay? Can my friends stay?
Lista looks very uneasy.
As far as like
Jill
the
does, too.
makeup of people walking through the streets, who and what are we seeing besides guards on
You're
horses?
seeing
and people
primarily
walking in ribbon?
humans, although there is occasionally here and there, you would say like 1 out of every 10 people might be a dwarf or an elf. More rarely, you're seeing a couple of halflings here or there, some half elves, but that's pretty much it. Nothing else that's popping out.
I would actually like to walk over to Callista and just Callista and say, I see that you are uneasy, and I can't say I blame you. The people at the halls of justice, some of them are a little bit short-sighted. And just as they revere ASMR like myself, some of them revile tieflings. So, you will not be in harm's way, but you may get some strange glances.
you're muted, Liz.
I think she is. I think she just took a dramatic pause.
I saw her lips moving.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I cast the
Sorry, I
silence
was
spell.
just too quiet.
Just a quick silence spell, don't worry about it.
Yes, certainly, I understand that, but there is more to it than that. Justice. Well, there is a lot in my past, and I do not know if it is a good idea for one such as myself to walk in your halls of justice.
Why? You're silent again.
You know what I was.
There you are. What?
I think you know what I was.
Yes, but I'm more concerned with who you are, not who you were.
So that's about balancing the scales of justice. Is that not what your order, your people would believe? There is an awful lot on the other end of the scale.
I do not know your past, but I will see to it that you don't see any justice for that while you're with me.
You don't think Tyr is going to just incinerate me where I stand when I walk through the door? And I kind of give like a half smile, so you know I'm kind of kidding.
Believe me, if he wanted you incinerated where you stood, that would have already happened.
Oh.
Comforting?
Theon's master of comfort.
You're,
Right.
you're under my protection. And I know you don't necessarily need my protection, but know that you will not have to face justice in my home for whatever it is you did.
Sometimes I wonder if I should.
Oh.
Do you think that you should?
I just said sometimes I wonder.
I know, but deep down, do you think that you should?
Yes.
There are other forms of justice than just parting head from neck. There's penance, there's good deeds, and you are already on that track. Look at what we're doing. Look what we have been doing.
Oh yes, penance is how I have been living my life.
Maybe this would be a good place to ponder these things. There are many who offer counsel in my halls. And Tyr doesn't just listen to his faithful. He will listen to your prayers if you speak to him.
Not really one for talking.
Well, these are definitely things to reflect on. I understand your worry, but I think that is not the purpose for why we're here.
On that, do you think it would be better if you were carrying the seed and not me?
Probably.
Let's not hand it over in the middle of the street. We have made that
Yes,
before.
yes.
Jill,
Yeah.
what are you doing as they're having this conversation?
Jill would probably be kind of like looking around at the different buildings, and kind of also once in a while glancing at her hip and then back at the buildings, just sort of getting a lay of the land, presumably.
Okay. Merrick doesn't seem to notice anything off.
Sweet. I got one over on Merrick. That's an honor. That's his perception's high.
He crit failed.
Suck it, Merrick. Suck it.
Got that hand in the back pocket.
But
taking all his
Leaf
all he can
attention.
focus on.
Seamus can roll to see if they notice. So can
we-
roll a sense motive.
Ooh, I just got better at sensing motives.
Oh, good.
Sense all the
13.
I'm still not good. I got a 12.
Okay. No, you guys are. What are you two doing as you guys travel along?
I would like to use my once per day speak with animals to talk to Katya and
Okay.
say, if I figure out a way to make you fly, will you let me ride you?
She said.
Yes.
All right.
I was gonna say that's a deal. That's a good deal.
I can fly like them.
Oh.
And see the griffin
My heart.
swooping through the air.
I've got to figure out the best way to do it. Are you adverse to wings?
Oh.
Oh.
No. I would love wings.
All right.
Weird looking.
It's not something I can do right now, but
Oh.
I've got ideas.
Oh my God.
She's doing that like cat vibrate thing.
Yes,
Kneading the cobblestones just a little bit.
I'm so excited.
Hey,
Leaf
hey Liz,
Wolfen, Griffin
turn your
Rider.
mic up a touch.
Lovely. Amazing.
So is this place called the Halls of Justice? Is that where
It
we're going?
is.
Meanwhile, at the halls of justice.
And Beyonce is leading you through the streets quite like confidently. He knows exactly where he's going through these numerous streets, which are busy, lined with shops, lined with inns. You're heading through one district, but he's taking you down a street that's marked Trader's Way.
Any clockwork shops?
Let me see. None
my
that you pass on this street. That certainly must be some within this city. It seems to have everything, no matter which way that you're looking. So it's just a matter of finding out where they are. And up ahead, the street would open up into a large central marketplace. But over this market hovers the incredibly tall towers that mark the halls of justice. And you're all familiar enough with Tyr's symbol from traveling with Beyonce, who has his holy symbol, to see it shining at the top of a pillar, just bright gold and shining from a distance.
Beyonce's gonna like stop everybody and just be like, look at it, isn't it glorious?
And it has the hammer with the scales on top of it, perfectly balanced.
Bit
Everybody-
ostentatious for my taste.
Yeah, glorious.
Have you met me?
Bit ostentatious for my taste.
Jill laughs out loud.
And there are large walls around, so there are only like a certain gates that people can enter through, but those gates are wide open for anyone to walk through and enter right now into the courtyard area that's there for the church. So the church seems to be open to people who just want to enter. But there are clearly guards around these walls. You would see they seem to be dressed in the wearings of temple clerics or paladins, and they are standing at each gate.
All right. So let me just savor this moment for a minute. Henry, can I have the seed?
Is there an alleyway we can go into instead of doing it right in front of the...
Oh, yes, sure.
What if you
Is
just
there an
give him the
alleyway over
bag?
there?
Because all of my other stuff is in it.
You can give
I'll
that
give
back
it
in
back.
a minute.
So we could do an alleyway. Is there an alleyway right there?
You can find something. There's not like any dark alleys right around the Temple of Tyr.
There are no dark
seedy alleys.
No, they're
Yeah, they're pretty well taken care of, I think.
There are only well-lit
People-
alleys.
that's
Or I guess
right.
we can all just like circle up and like kind of hide what we are doing. I mean, it will be really obvious and all, but no one will actually see what we are passing.
Huddle
Yes.
up.
Just give me a minute and I can make a cabin in the middle of the city.
No.
That also will not be suspicious. So I pull the seed out and just kind of slide it over to Beyonce.
Cool.
Can
It's still
you
in.
guys-
It's still wrapped up, right? Jill, you had it wrapped in something.
You're all able to aid with this, but can you make a sleight of hand check, both of you? And then anyone who wants to help try to block them may also make one to try to assist. You need to get a 10 to assist.
I'm not gonna. I feel like I would hurt things.
That'd just make it go bad, I think.
The lowest
22.
I can roll on sleight of hand is 11.
Got a 16.
So I will help.
Okay.
17?
Nice. So that makes a +2.
18
Merrick will
total.
help, and he's like a brick wall because he got an add 20 on this. So
Ah.
he'll block the way
He's
like
broad.
one entire direction. Yeah,
He's
and he's got
broad.
the big axe he can like put in a certain way.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually like the first time that I've held it.
I think it is.
It's the what does it feel like?
Well, if you want to make a wisdom check.
Just straight wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 20.
Ooh.
Do you have it wrapped in the thing, or are you actually touching it?
That's right. Just actually touch it.
Oh.
Okay.
You'd have to unwrap it.
If
It's
you
all wrapped up.
Slip your hand inside of the wrapping. The exterior of the seed is very smooth, but beneath your palm, you seem to feel an energy to it, like a slight vibration just against that outer material.
What?
So this is the thing I almost died for. All right, let's get rid of this thing. But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it in style.
God dang it. No, don't do it.
And then,
Keith will quickly cast Eagle's Splendor on Beyonce just to make sure that its style
As
is
the word
actually
style
stylish.
comes out of his mouth. He's like,
No, it's
Hair
follow me.
has followed him all of a sudden.
He'll start walking, and then as he's walking, he'll like start to almost turn it into a strut, and then he'll cast Angel Splendor.
you can't tell by the way I use my
or Angel Aspect.
Oh shit.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and explain
So
what happens again when you do this angelic aspect?
So what happens is I hold my gauntlet to my chest and then just kind of pop down, and huge, just gigantic, splendorous archangel wings pop from like probably 8-foot wingspan.
And everyone around the square just like stops dead in their tracks, and it almost has a ripple effect as those people stop. People beyond them who are still talking and bartering and yelling, like they look to see what everyone else, and then they stop, and then it just spreads out from there, and everyone is just staring at Angel Wing Beyonce here.
And then I'm gonna
just kind of
take
shakes
off.
his head and says, "Bit ostentatious for my taste."
A few people,
Just a bit.
including the 2 clerics who look quite young, who are stationed outside the front gate, actually drop down on one knee.
I don't know. I think this is the most appropriate time he's done this yet.
I'll look towards the clerics that are kneeling and just say, "Get up! He does this 3 times a day."
Yeah, Beyond's cast hold person on Leaf.
yes.
I thought we were going in. Why are you freezing us?
My will save just got better, so that is going to be a 22.
You get it.
Okay.
But Beyonce whacks you with one of his wings.
Boof.
And then he takes off.
Up he goes, and everyone's head just follows, like the flight of this figure flying up in his, like, you still have like gold colored armor, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Gold armor on these wings with this holy artifact sword.
Wow.
For the love of Tyr, better not drop it.
I thought we were supposed to follow him. How are we supposed to follow him?
He doesn't think about that kind of thing. He thinks about himself. And I just keep going towards the temple. I'm walking towards the temple.
Beyonce's having this big moment, and we're all just on the ground being salty.
Yeah.
Children of Destiny.
Everybody's
just like to let
jealous
the
of
air out of
Beyonce.
each other's
Everybody's
tires.
jealous of Beyonce. We all know it.
We're jealous. We're jealous.
I feel like we ought to build each other up, you know?
You think I point at the sky, I say, do you think he needs to be built up any more than he already is?
All right, fair point.
Beyonce,
turn him
you
into
can
a
actually
squirrel.
like do some circles around the
totally.
symbol up there, which you feel like almost shines more as you get closer
Oh
to
my
it.
God.
Doing like a total, just flyby of everything.
And as this is happening, behind all of you on the ground, you would all hear a voice, kind of a reedy, thin male voice, say, "Oh, not a fucking again."
Oh boy.
I will turn around and face the voice.
Yes, who
I like
is
this
it?
person.
Same. Who is it? Not fucking
Beyonce's
again.
childhood rival?
Take it you are familiar with Justica Beyonce.
you turn around and the person that you see, let me put a picture of them up here.
Amazing. Who is it?
There they go. They are on roll 20.
Oh.
I love him.
Ooh.
So appears to be
He looks condescending as fuck.
appears to look condescending as fuck. He has long, straight auburn hair. He has green eyes and a diamond-shaped cut like elven face.
He's definitely a gym leader.
I was gonna say he looks like he's about ready to
He's even
challenge
got,
us to
like,
a Pokemon battle.
And he is dressed in adornments that show that he is part of the Church of Tyr as well. So he like has some armor on and he's got the symbol hanging around his neck, but he's just looking up with like utter disgust towards where Beyonce is.
Wait a
Amazing.
second. What's his name? Is it Leaf? Leaf?
His name is Leaf. This is gonna be confusing as hell for Seamus.
Leaf.
Leaf?
Leaf.
You don't know. You haven't talked to him.
Who are you?
What's your name, stranger?
Yes, what do you go by there, friend?
And he would look over at you and he would say, Paladin.
Like, it's your name?
Paladin Ashblade.
Are you a paladin?
Are you slow?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm Seamus.
Very good. Out of my way, please. And then he just will like try to walk right through the middle of your group.
I stand my ground.
Okay.
I really want to bungle somebody.
Callista. No.
Whether it's
no.
this guy or Beyonce, I just
Like I'm so torn.
I have the itch.
I'm glad that itch is going in different directions lately, Brad.
I just did a personal perception, or I guess sense motive check, and I got a 33 to see that Callista is like as close to getting into a fist fight with this guy, and I'm just like Callista, and I like
Callista, yeah, like are you gonna let Jill pull you away or are you going to try to hold your ground?
I'm just gonna hold my ground. Like I'm not trying to be aggressive toward him, but I'm also trying to not let him shove
Then
me
what
aside.
you get is a little shoulder check from this guy. As he goes beside you.
I imagine under Jill's
Can I
hand,
check him
Callista
back?
feels hot.
Can I shoulder check him back?
Like he goes here and then you go after him. You can try, sure.
Oh God, don't! Oh my God!
What is it? It's just a
Just do a melee attack.
Unarmed attack. Base attack
even-
bonus. Base
oh,
attack
just
bonus
my
plus
base attack
strength.
bonus.
Yep.
With your melee,
Plus strength.
get your melee, like so your strength.
Beyonce's just doing like barrel rolls. And
As everyone's like cheering and like
It's only an 18.
an 18. Yeah, that's not enough. So when you do that, instead his hand comes up and swats you away, and he looks back and he says, "Don't touch me with your foul hands."
Oh my
Touched
God!
me first.
I grab Callista tighter by the elbow. I like dig in my fingers.
What business brings
just
a demon
bristling.
to our front steps?
Oh,
I just kind of smile. I point up. I am with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks up again and then down at you. He brought you here
Indeed.
to stand trial.
No.
I put my hand on Callista's shoulder now, and he brought us all here with his friends.
Friends.
Well, some of us are more like mentors, really.
I kind of pat Seamus on the back.
He looks between each of you and even Katya, but his eyes are drawn back to Callista.
Katya's ears are back, and like she's like her like the hackles on her neck are standing up because she's sensing hostility toward me.
And he says, "Well, won't everyone be interested to hear about this?" And then he just turns to walk away again towards the door.
This
Bungle.
fancy bastard.
I imagine they will be.
Bungle.
Yep.
Bungle him.
All right.
Because he's not looking at Leaf. Leaf
What
is going
is-
to bungle him.
What is your DC? Because he didn't roll great.
DC is an 18.
An 18. He did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. 19.
He did not make that.
I will say, does he have more than 10 hit dice? Because it is a first level spell.
Oh, so one affect him if he has more
Yeah.
than 10. Okay.
Oh,
Dang
That's
it.
sad.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
bungle you guys anymore. So
You try.
Good
You
attempt.
try, but it
That's
kind
bad
of
out.
No
kind
more
of
snap
fizzles
tibias.
out. And he doesn't turn around to even look at you, so he just keeps going up the
I
stairs.
like to imagine it affects him a little bit. Like he gets that feeling like he forgot something. Like,
I mean, I could just like mage hand and like swat his heel so he trips over himself just a little bit.
No.
Can I strategically land in front of him?
Yes,
before
you can, because you have a bird's eye view, so you can see what's happening down there. And he hangs out long enough with your friends that you recognize him right away, and you know who it is, and you see this little confrontation. So yeah, Beyonce, you can come and land right in front of him on the stairs as he's starting to scale the steps.
I see you met my friends, Leaf, and I have like my wings just completely outspread.
Ooh.
oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's an intimidation right there. Text
He's got
if
got
you
big
want
wing
to,
energy.
you can make an intimidate
huge
check.
wing energy.
Oh yeah.
You do have a +4 because I cast Eagle Splendor on you.
That's true. That is a 21.
21 is not enough. He does not look. He looks neither impressed nor intimidated by your display. In fact, he just sort of snorts and he says, "Huh. And I see you've lost all taste in company. Surprising."
I'm gonna walk up because I want to hear this conversation.
Okay, you guys
Behind
walk up.
him.
You can walk up
rolling
behind
at
him.
this
So
point.
now you guys have him like flanked here.
It's just like
They've probably done more in the past few months than you have in your whole lifetime. And he's going to turn around and start walking inside.
What would you know about earning anything, Beyonce?
He turns around and lifts up his eye patch and turns
Yes.
That causes him to pale.
Yeah, damn right it does.
And he tries to compose himself, but he does look rattled, and he would say, "And here, I thought that was just a fashion statement. One in poor taste, perhaps."
Is that what you have to say about
Can I
the named
come
god?
Can I come up kind of behind him a little bit and just kind of like right behind him? I'm just going to say quietly, kind of over his shoulder, "Some people have sacrificed much for their god."
Oh my
Are you making
God.
it intimidate?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Yeah, fuck this guy.
seriously.
This is the coolest thing we've ever had happen.
It's just like Beyonce's.
Oh, no, I am not. I rolled a 3, which makes it a 14.
It sounds more like you're like trying to like sexually whisper.
Hey.
in his ear.
Hey, baby.
And again, he sort of wheels around and takes a step back from you, and he says, "I can smell the sulfur. Keep away from me."
Good.
Oh my God.
And keep
Leaf will
away
just
from us.
whisper to Jill, "Would anybody be angry if I turned him into a squirrel?"
No, not now, leave.
Permanently, forever.
I mean,
That's
I wouldn't be angry, but I don't think you should right here out on the steps.
I don't think you're allowed to use transfiguration on Hogwarts students.
That is a punishment, certainly.
Beyonce's going to say, "Well, good. Stay away from all of us then. We have business to attend to." And he's going to turn and start making his way toward the altar.
Wow.
He says nothing else, and he will just step aside to let you all walk by and kind of fold his arms.
Jill kind of hesitates right at the like precipice and just kind of like slips a hand in her pocket where she still has her symbol of tear and just kind of like holds on to it sort of. And then ultimately like gets up the gumption and goes and follows the crew.
As Leith is walking past this guy and gets a few steps ahead of him, he's going to cast message to this paladin Leaf guy and just say, "You're a twat."
Leaf is gonna getting less creative with the messages, but I like it. You're a twat.
Right to the
And
point.
you would be able to see him sort of grind his teeth together, and he casts a dirty look out towards like the exit where the crowd is. Like he can't exactly tell where it came from or if it was one of you, but then he gives you all the stink eye again as you're heading up.
Real
As-
piece of work.
Once everyone else has gone through like the entrance, I kind of paw like my foot is almost lifted. I haven't quite crossed over yet, and I just kind of hesitate and I take a really deep breath. And I square my shoulders, and Katya nudges into the back of my shins, and it almost makes me stumble, but I kind of regain my footing. And then I very deliberately walk through the entrance. It's like I very much have to make myself walk through the entrance.
Yes.
You do, and it is very rare for you to, especially to the front door, enter into a house of worship of some good God, let alone a lawful good deity who is very strict. So this is quite an experience for you. But as you step inside, no automated defenses cause you to disintegrate.
Don't burst into flames.
Don't burst into flames.
There's no.
Should we be checking for traps, Carrie, maybe?
I have trap sense. If there's any, I have to be told.
You hear quiet, distant humming and some music playing somewhere distantly, and find yourself staring forward at the church proper, where anyone can come in to do worship, where there is an altar up ahead and just magnificent hanging sculptures and statues and little coves off to the side and pews, and also some like booths off to the side that look like confessional style booths as well.
Ballista gives a shudder as she walks past the confessionals.
Beyonce would like to make his way to any sort of statue or the altar. And he wants to, like, angelic aspects, just walking straight towards it, past everybody. And he just wants to sit, to kneel down in front of it and say, "Maimed God, your vengeful blade has returned to the halls of justice. I am forever at your service."
And you feel, as you always do, a sort of swelling within, like a connection to something here that resonates in you, Beyonce. And it has been there since the first time you came to this church and swore your service to it. And you felt it each time that you've come back.
Beyonce's his eyes are actually gonna well up a little bit.
What kind of swelling are we talking about here?
I have a question.
I guess
Two,
harder.
actually. Jill's been here. Does it look similar to when it was probably last time she was here was probably 10 years ago? Does it look the same?
It looks exactly the way that you remember it, Jill, and it brings back a flood of memories of how you felt the last time that you entered this hall, when less embittered with your experience with the deities, this was a place that could potentially offer you some solace, some hope.
My other question is, did Merrick come in with us?
Merrick does come in with you. He's right behind you.
I just sit in one of like the pews or benches and I just kind of don't say anything.
Okay. He will also sit with you. And as Beyonce is kneeling and saying his little piece here, someone would start to approach your group. So
Is it this prick again?
it's not the prick. He walks in and then cuts a left right away and like goes through some door. He
That's
doesn't
right.
want anything to do with that. No.
It's over that way, bro.
And instead, you would see like a slightly older looking gentleman. He's got a gray beard. He's dressed more in robes. It doesn't look like he is wearing any armor as if he was going to go out in battle. Like he looks like he is wearing more of like a scholarly kind of robe, but he does have hanging symbols around his neck, and even in the braiding of his belt, you would see the symbol of tears like worked intricately into the belt itself.
Wow.
And Beyonce, you would recognize the voice of Father Antorum as he would speak up and say, "Welcome back, Beyonce."
Beyonce would turn around and immediately walk up to him and offer his hand and say, "It's good to be back."
And as you turn around, all of you can see the wonder on this man's face as he takes in the wings and the eye patch. His eyes drop to the hilt of the sword that is sheathed and turn into saucers immediately. Like that is recognition of what he might be looking at, and it's just awe. Like
Awesome.
and he would, after a moment, extend his hand as well and clasp it in yours, Beyonce, and say, "It seems you are put on the right path."
Tyr has blessed me
We have much to speak of.
more than you know.
I imagine so, but the Hammer Lord will wish to hear all.
Well, when can we see him?
Now, we wished no delay.
Can I make some type of knowledge check to see if I know what the freaking Hammer Lord is?
What's that Hammer Lord?
Yeah.
Knowledge religion.
Ooh. Hey, 19.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you would know that that is the name of the person who like runs the temple, like the high priest of this Hall of Justice would be called the Hammer Lord.
Sounds good.
Lord of Hammers.
Jill kind of looks over at Callista and is like, has a look on her face like, that's heavy.
Callista's standing just inside the door to this like sanctuary area or whatever, just kind of like right up just inside the door up against the wall.
Leaf is hanging out with Callista, not saying anything, just standing nearby.
And he would actually, Beyonce, gesture for you and your compatriots to follow him.
Beyonce would start following and gesture over to Leith and Callista to follow.
And he will start heading
I
down
will.
a side hall that you know leads to like the actual offices of these higher ranking priests. And you would start to see other clergy and paladins and followers, even servants of the temple, who are peeking out and catching sight of this. And you would see them whispering among each other. You would see excitement. You would see just confusion from some of them about what they're looking at.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
My shoulders are set and my chin is kind of lifted just a little bit, and I just kind of have like a very determined, set look on my face as I follow.
Beyonce's just drinking this all in. He loves this.
And as you're walking, Father Antorum would say, "Galen is here."
They are.
Yes.
Where are
I
they?
imagine you'll want to speak them after we speak.
Yes. The business
Hammer.
first. Right.
Oh.
Beyonce kind of has a spring in his step now.
That's so freaking, oh my God,
Galen
dude.
asked me to alert them as soon as you arrived.
Let them know that I'm very, very excited to see them.
And Father Antorum will lead you to a large door, a heavy door with like a carving on it of Tyr symbol, like in wood, worked just beautifully. And he'll pull it open. It splits those scales like directly in half. And you will walk into an office that is nicely furnished, but not like incredibly extravagant or gilded or anything. It looks more like an office that's done for practicality than anything.
Is there a clock?
Let me find out. There is a very large, prominent clock piece that decorates one corner of the room.
Leith is going to, as casually as possible, just sort of shift over towards that element of the room.
Okay. And you would see this man who is dressed in a lot of fancy armor, honestly, like gold armor to the hilt with the big old shoulders.
Have we met anybody ugly in this campaign?
No,
Not really.
No.
There's
No.
only pretty people.
there were definitely ugly people in Cold Town. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
Not the
evil
bad
people.
guys are ugly.
yeah.
That's how you
Bad
know.
witches are ugly.
That's how you know. Just kidding. There were also hot bad guys.
Yeah,
Very-
the bad
they're-
guys were hot too. Let's be honest.
True.
All right. And so he looks like this. He's got a dark beard. He's got some gray streaks in his hair. He looks very serious, like a person called the Hammer Lord might be. So, and he surveys you all,
Beyonce bows.
and he will stand and rise and offer an incline of his head back to you as well. And Father Antorum will come in and shut the doors, but he will stay here.
Is he standing by the doors, Father Antorum?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then I'll inch a little further down
You're
the
like,
wall.
that's my spot. I want to lean on the inside of the door.
I'll go join Leith by the clock.
Okay.
Jill actually bows as well, with Beyonce, kind of slightly after Beyonce does.
We're talking mantle clock or like grandfather
No, like
clock?
a grandfather clock.
Okay, like big, extravagant.
But really big.
All right.
And so the Hammer Lord here will look at Beyonce, and his eyes drift for a moment to Callista as she moves to another spot and fix on her, but he pulls them away without any comment. And he will say, "Report, Blade."
Beyonce will approach, and Tyr has led me to interfere with a plot to prevent the second sundering, which we have done by procuring this. And Beyonce will pull out the seed and pull off the cover. And hit.
He sort of strains a bit to look at it, and no recognition on his face of what he's looking at. So he would look back up at you.
Some explanation. Somebody want to help?
Sure. That's the seed. That's all we know it as. The Tantal, the princes Tantal, they were trying to bring about the end of the world, as far as we know.
A return
the
of the
leaders of the
Shadowvar to this
Shadowvar.
plane.
They're trying to
Shadowvar.
bring a city dedicated to Shar back into our realm. It's a whole thing.
Do not speak that name so freely.
We thought
You're safe here, but it is good practice.
Okay,
yes.
sure.
Yes, we had to face down and cut down many cultists. It's quite the story, actually.
Well, I should greatly like to hear all the details.
You should check out our podcast.
Available on gamingpaper.com.
Yep.
I look over at Shayla. What's a podcast?
What? Oh, sorry.
Beyonce has it written in a journal. Is that what you mean?
Yes, senior moment.
Oh, gotcha.
Beyonce, are you willing to share everything relevant to what you've known about the cult and the
Absolutely.
Sublime Fire, what Selmy was up to, what you discovered was going on in Sambia, how that led you to your understanding of the Tanthals and them trying to bring Tolpanthar, the floating city, back by creating all of these rituals, the Sunderings. Is there anything that you are leaving out specifically on purpose?
No, Beyonce trusts Alumen with his life.
All right.
Like the most important part is that we are being hunted. It is being hunted.
Then this seed must truly be important, unless you believe it is simply that they wish to stop you. And he looks at Beyonce.
I don't think that is the case. It may be part of it, but we needed to bring this to a safe place, and this was the safest place I could think of.
Yeah, they seem pretty mad that we took it.
Would you be willing to put it in the hands of the sightless scribes? And he looks past you at Father Antorum for study.
That was my intention.
Can I make like a history check or a religion check?
Religion check,
Something.
yeah.
Ooh, that's actually not the worst thing I've ever rolled. 17.
Okay, so because like this temple here in Waterdeep is one of the biggest temples of Tyr that there are, like in all of Faerun, you have heard that name before. There are different orders within the clergy that serves Tyr here. So not everybody's just like a follower of Tyr. They have specific jobs in sections in their orders. And one of those is the sightless scribes. And they are, like Father Antorum, clerics usually who are dedicated to leading the prayer services at the actual temple, but their primary role is that they're lore keepers of the history of their religion, of Tyr, of the artifacts of the church, etc. So they have a great access to knowledge, resources, history, that kind of thing.
Are they all blind?
No, that is just a name that is a nod to the fact Tyr.
Tyr is blind.
Oh,
Yes.
Tyr is blind.
Yes.
Just to clarify, we're going to be able to keep a close eye on it, right?
And Father Antorum says it will be watched constantly.
By sightless people.
They're not actually sightlessly.
By top men.
Excuse me.
Forgive my friends. Yes, we would very much like to entrust it to your care.
Excuse me. I am sorry to break in, but I thought we were bringing it here to be destroyed.
It should be destroyed. No good can come from this thing. They were trying to use it to bring she who shall not be named back to this plane. We shouldn't keep it intact. We should destroy it. You should destroy it.
Powerful enough to artifact, to do as you say, and to corrupt the magic of the Meethal in Mitranor, which is created by some of the most powerful spellcasters to ever walk this plane, then it is not something that would be easily destroyed. Artifacts often require specific rituals in order to actually cause them to cease to exist or to be destroyed without dangerous backlash to those who attempt it.
Right, so do you know where we can find one of those rituals?
That's what our scholars will attempt to ascertain.
Ah, crap. We're going to have to go put this thing in a mountain, aren't we?
Where is Mount Doom?
Mount Doom, Mount Doom.
I
We're going to Mordor, everyone.
Surprise! It was Lord of the Rings all along.
D&D? What?
I want to be Legolas. Okay.
Anyway, whew.
Yeah, Jill is kind of looking uncomfortably at Beyonce, and kind of also looking cuttingly at Leith, like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Beyonce is standing resolute with his decision.
Okay.
I think that this is the best course of action.
I step back like I'm backing down. He answered my question. So
Hopefully, when we know more, we will be better informed on how to proceed. Until then, I give you my word, an oath, that it shall not be touched by any hands but ours.
Leith will step forward and hold a hand out.
Don't do it. Don't. Leith, don't.
Just to shake his hand on that oath.
No.
He will do a sense motive to make sure this isn't some weird thing you're going to do to him.
Just
Got one of those like little zip.
He
things,
got
like,
a 33.
Leith has no ulterior
Okay,
motives.
all right. For
But as
once
soon as
in
they
his
clasp
life.
hands, Leith will say, "You've just sworn a deal with a Fey Prince. That's binding in a lot of different ways."
It's an ulterior motive, sir.
But like, that's not anything that he wouldn't have been able to tell other than Leith being eager to step forward and shake his hand.
Well, either way, he doesn't seem to mind. So,
Oh.
and he would,
Beyonce's like, without actually face palming, like he's doing a face palm just with his hand.
he would
his
look at you,
face, like,
Beyonce, though, and look between Leith now and Callista, and he would say, Tyr has sent you interesting compatriots for this quest, Blake.
Tell me about
Worse
it.
things to be than interesting.
At this point, I reach down and I grab Leith's shoulder and I kind of like squeeze into his collarbone.
Ow!
Yes, I know it seems a motley crew, but they are very dependable, and I wouldn't be here today without them.
No doubt you have all had a difficult journey to reach here. I imagine you want somewhere comfortable to rest, something filling for your stomachs, perhaps a bath, and then we will speak of this more.
And a good night's rest without having to look over our shoulders.
And he smirks a bit and he says, and that as well. And then we will have more business to speak of.
Of course. Whatever you require of me.
We have had some concerns of our own lately that would certainly benefit from your divine wisdom.
I'll help any way I can.
It is good to have you back, Beyonce.
It's good to be back.
And he looks
good
at
to be
the
home.
rest of you and he says, is there anything else that you will all require during your stay?
You got a spa or anything?
We shall have servants show you to the baths.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, Father Antorum will open the doors.
That's the Beyonce will bow once again and say, "Thank you, sir." Once again.
Of course.
As this guy is walking away, Seamus turns to Leith and says, "So, Leith, just out of curiosity, if one was to make an agreement with the Fey Prince that they had no intention of carrying out, what would happen to that person?"
Hell if I know. It just seemed like a cool thing to say.
Leith,
All
when you
right.
hear, I lean to Leith and I am pinching the bridge of my nose. I'm like, Leith, I don't have any more use for these people than you do, but you have to at least pretend to have a little respect around here. It won't go well for you if you don't.
They've not exactly shown us a great deal of respect.
No, they haven't, but that's not exactly the way they roll around here. People respect them, they don't give it back. That's the way it is.
They haven't exactly thrown you into the stockades.
Leith is going to grab Jill by the wrist and stop her in the hall and point back at the office door that has scales on it and just kind of say, "Seems to me that balance is an important thing to them. So I'm going to demand it if they're not going to give it."
I kind of just, Jill concedes to that. She just sort of shrugs and is like, well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Father Antorum is walking with Beyonce as you exit. So I assume you two hang back a bit to have that conversation.
Yup.
That's what I thought. And Beyonce, he would say to you, may I have a moment before I go speak to Galen? Let them know you're here.
Yes, of course. What do you need?
I was hoping that while you were here, you might have a word with Merwin.
Merwin. What have they gotten into?
Well, word of your exploits had reached the temple in the form of rumors, often exaggerated, but apparently in many cases not. And among the younger members of our order, excitement had grown, especially those who had known you quite well, such as Merwin.
Yes, to be expected.
A small group rose up around her, and they have aspired to your example from when you were here.
Oh.
In what way?
Do you want a
Well,
cult?
like that-
Because this is how you get cults.
Like, Beyonce's just like that, like bracing himself for what this means.
Well, they remember the way you comported yourself at the temple, and they have seeked to follow your path.
Yes.
It has caused some trouble. They have been skipping classes. They have been caught in some compromising situations.
Beyonce was a bad boy.
Yes.
And more
Beyonce's
notably,
trying-
perhaps they have begun taking certain missions upon themselves in various parts of the town without any oversight from the leader of their order. And I thought perhaps if you spoke with them, it might go well. They have been calling themselves your adherents and
Beyonce's
going by the name of the Swarm.
We also call them babies.
Beyonce's like trying to keep a straight face, but he is like, oh my god, this is actually kind of amazing.
Yes, my children, follow my word.
Yes! My swarm!
Swarm.
I thought the beehive would be too on the nose, so
That's fair. That's fair. Swarms are scary.
Beyonce's just like trying to hold it together, but he'll be like, yes, I'll talk to them.
of course, I'm certain you wish to see Galen first, so I will go and find them.
Yes, that would be great.
Amazing.
So does Father Antorum walk away then?
He starts to, and then he would stop for another moment, seem to be thinking about something, and then shake his head and keep walking.
Beyonce will take note of it, but
Okay.
It was probably something racist.
A little bit racist, maybe.
yeah. And Beyonce's just gonna kind of take a minute to be like, oh, well,
Hello, Beyonce.
That's interesting.
And you would have some servants come up to you, and they're clad in more just simple robes. They don't have any specific symbols or anything hanging from them. And they would say, "Will you follow us, please? We'll take you to your rooms and pass."
Yes, please.
And they'll nod again. And then they'll just start leading you.
Are they leading just him or all of us?
All of you, like as
Okay.
a group.
Solid.
Beyonce, you have your own room here, and it's still yours. So if you want to stay in it, you can have your own room.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's gonna need his own room.
Yeah, I thought so.
Those high school posters still on the wall.
Just the higher paladins, like signs.
As we're walking, I sidle up kind of next to Callista and I kind of whisper, I'm like, at 8:30 o'clock tonight, we go over the wall. And I like wink at her.
At who? Who is this
At
to?
Callista.
Oh.
I want to sneak out and have a drink.
I wink back.
We're breaking curfew.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The rest of you are taken to. They're fine. It's not super extravagant. They don't have like fancy rooms with super cushy beds, and it's not a palace. But there are accommodations that will do well enough, and they can fit two of you into a room. And then you'll all be in the shared bath areas.
Another
Take your
bath together,
baths.
guys. Let's do it.
We always gotta bathe together.
Yeah. Seamus just drops
Sweet,
his robe
let's
and
go.
it's all out.
Shirtless Merrick.
Yes.
Like-
yes.
Like the steam just settles at just the right point down here, you know?
Jill doesn't make any bones about bathing at the same time as Merrick, for the record.
Any bones about it?
Maybe Merrick makes a bone about it.
And
Tish. Okay, anyway.
Zing.
I'm still here.
Church.
maybe you should leave, Seamus.
Oh,
It's about to get weird.
Wait, are we all taking a bath right now?
No, you don't have to. You can do them whenever you want.
This is very Brienne and Jamie. This is, yes.
Yeah.
Callista's gonna wait.
Okay, Callista, you can
Because
wait.
she saw
Have
Merrick and
some-
Jill go in there
have
and
some
Seamus. And
privacy.
suspects this might get weird.
and
There's just like smoke coming out of the room, and then also.
Beyonce would definitely want to bathe before he saw Gallon. So
We come out about a half an hour later. It's like, well, it's all yours.
yeah, actually,
They
going
don't
to
have
drain
any.
that, or-
They don't have any gnome-sized bathtubs, but they could just fill it like a little ways.
Well, he can swim, right?
Get it?
Yeah.
yeah, well before Idris Elba and Carrie come out, Seamus comes out and says,
Love
Gary.
that this is Idris Elba and Gary. That's fine. Please continue.
yeah, Seamus comes out and says, yep, it got weird.
Wait, were you smoking? Did that make it weirder?
Nope.
Maybe it should have been, but it wasn't.
I think I will wait till they are done.
Yep, I'd recommend that.
In
Yep,
multiple ways, maybe.
could be a minute though.
Well, Beyonce's in there, but
He likes to watch.
Beyonce.
I mean, BS is probably moving pretty fast because he's got other,
Oh, yeah,
he's like, no
got
time,
business
no
to attend
time.
to. He's
Yeah.
lathering up. He's getting it all done.
okay.
I'd say, yeah. Yep. Half hour later, Jill and Merrick emerge. Like, all right, it's all yours.
Yep.
They high five
Are there
on
like
the way out.
bath attendants or anything like that?
There are people, yes. They will leave you privacy if you want privacy.
Well, I'll just ask them. Excuse me, how often is the water changed in these?
Oh, daily.
I look at the
There's
tub.
like multiple tubs, but you're not sure which
Oh.
one they were just
Could
in.
you tell me which? Which?
Yes, and they'll direct you.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Unused.
The unused one is the one I am going for.
Unused,
Yeah.
Good idea.
And I'll just kind of like sink down. Like I'll sink down to like chin level, and I'm just gonna kind of sit there and float and think.
Surprise! It's holy water.
Beyonce, where are you off to?
Probably my room until I get summoned.
I thought so. So you go to your room, which is as you left it. Make a perception check.
19.
Okay, well, the first thing you would immediately notice anyway is that there are some things like outside your door, like leaning up against it.
Oh my God.
Like little gifts and like a carving.
Gifts of devotion.
Beyonce's just
Carving of your face.
like Beyonce's just
It's
like
really bad. bad, so it takes you a second to realize what it's supposed to be.
But Beyonce's just eating it up. It is just building him up, building up that ego.
Yep. But when you get inside, you had a 19?
Yes.
It looks like people have been in here to clean it, so things aren't dusty or anything like that. But you also feel like some things have been moved a bit. Nothing seems to be missing, maybe. Maybe some of your small clothes, I don't know.
The underwear has been tampered with.
Well, I'm gonna need some new underclothes. Apparently.
Yeah, somebody's been through some of your things.
Oh my God.
Gross.
The price of fame.
Wow.
But it's not long afterwards.
It's kind of a big deal, guys.
That you hear a rapping on the door.
Hello?
Aren't you going to invite me in?
He's going to open up the door, and I said, I thought you'd never ask, and he's just gonna bring him in.
And that's where we're going to break. So then we get you gotta wait until after. You gotta come back.
It's
getting
getting hot in here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This paladin's about to lay on some hands.
Yeah.
All right, we will be back at 8:20, or 8:37. So in 10 minutes, we will return.
All right.
Amazing.
Go potty, whatever you need to do, and we'll see you in 10.
Have a
Praise
burrito.
tier.
See ya.
There it is.
Hello, everyone.
3, 2, 1, shot. Well done. Sorry. Chuck freaking counted it down, everyone, and he nailed it. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, and you don't even want to know what kind of stuff we talk about when it's not on. It gets weird sometimes.
I hope
gets very
this
weird.
was the time you forgot to mute the mic. And I feel like we would know from the chat, though.
Yeah.
100%.
Someone would say something.
Tom jumps in and is like, stop.
I feel like that's an action
Stop.
point. Is you get to spend an action point, and we don't get to mute during intermission.
Right.
It's just a blue screen of us just
That
talking.
would be great. Anybody have an action point?
We would all just like not say anything.
Yeah, then we just wouldn't say anything. It would have to
That's
be
true. We'd
like,
have to know. We'd have to not know
Has
about.
to be an accident.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, coming back, we are at the Hall of Justice, the Temple of Tyr in Waterdeep.
Meanwhile,
Finding out some things about Beyonce's life. You have reported to the Hammer Lord. You have brought the seed here, which the scholars are going to study to try to find a way to destroy. Father Antorum has let Beyonce know about a little problem, a little fan club of his that has sprung up that maybe he needs to talk to. And Beyonce's mysterious love interest, Galen, is here. And because I think the two of you are more pleasure before business, we're going to cut to some other people for a while. Because I think we know how that's going.
Yep.
it's a pan to the fireplace kind of thing.
Fireplace.
Fireplace.
So does everybody whose room is in that vicinity also know what's going on.
Everybody here.
so Seamus is
God.
just kind of like out in his bathrobe, which is, normal, but also just literal bathrobe. Looking around me like, well, I usually room with Beyonce, but that seems like not happening. Anyone who wants to room with me? Is anyone around? I'm just assuming.
Did you guys walk away or are you there?
Leith is
Floating
just
in
kind
a
of been like
bathtub.
hanging out in the hallway.
Katya's still out in the hallway. 'cause
Leaf
Katya's
and
not getting in the
Katya
bathtub.
are there. Merrick is going with Jill.
So I look at Katya and say, huh?
She kind of cocks her head at you and does like the equivalent of a panther shoulder shrug.
Which is a shoulder shrug.
Seamus.
Panthers
Also
have
known
shoulders.
as a shoulder shrug.
So,
Amazing.
Leith, you need a roommate? Anybody need a? I mean, I could do my own room.
Over her
If you'd
shoulder,
prefer to
Jill
sleep with
says.
the cat over me, that's fine.
Over her shoulder, Jill says, "Leith, for the love of Tia, give him speak with animals," and then goes with Merrick.
That's not how any.
That's not how this works.
You can, you know. Okay.
Wait, can you?
I don't think he can. I thought he could.
I can do it.
Also,
once
he's
per
already
day.
spoken to her today.
Crap. Okay. Well,
Amazing.
Callista, would you like to room with the cat? I don't want to take that
Callista's
away.
in the bathtub right now.
Seamus turns to an empty space.
Seamus, I'll be your bunkmate. It's fine.
Aww.
All right. We could do that. Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome.
No tricks,
Awesome.
though. No tricks when I'm asleep.
What about field trips?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know.
Well, let's work on that because that sounds intriguing.
Let's workshop that a little bit.
Yeah.
That could be some good content.
Yeah. I feel like we could go places, literally.
That's usually what a field trip is. I think. All right. Where do you want to go?
Well, we could go look at the halls of justice a little bit. See what's going on there.
Sure. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Let's go graffiti something.
So I sneak around, like you're 13 at a retreat, and like, oh, I'm not supposed to be in this room.
This is
Yeah,
what the
right.
church is like after dark.
Yeah.
Amazing. Speaking of going places, I don't know how we're leaping forward in time, but Jill would
It is the evening. The aunts will be a while.
Jill would kind of like start getting ready, and depending on when we go to bed, Jill starts getting ready to sneak out with Callista. Is Merrick asleep? It's only 8:30.
Grandpa Merrick's in bed.
But he is very tired from being seasick for 10
he's
days.
not asleep, but he has great hearing. So what he'll say is, you want to go out with your friend, it's fine. I'll stay here.
Oh my God, he's perfect. I smile as I'm kind of like putting my clothes back on. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. We'll be back before,
Morning.
how about we say 2 a.m. Morning is a
It's
perfect deadline.
ladies' night. Oh, what
What
a
a
night.
night. Oh, what a night. Yes.
Just be
And
careful. We don't know if anyone's followed us here. Try to lay low as much as you can. It
I
might
won't
be
be,
a good idea to take those hats with you.
yeah, just in case, we'll take them with us. I won't be dancing on any bars. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm not worried.
And I wink at him, and then I leave our little dorm room.
Hey, we're gonna call it a love nest, and then you didn't.
I was gonna, but I
we hope.
decided not to.
I saw you wanting to. Our sleeping arrangements
Our
location.
room. And then I assume I just kind of like wait. I wait to where I think Callista would go to meet.
Callista, how literally are you taking her? Like, let's sneak out.
Quite literally.
I thought so. Make a stealth check.
That's what she does. She takes things literally. I know her. We're
Is there
friends.
actually a
He's the
curfew?
Drax.
Yeah, I don't think you guys
Like,
are
like, what was it? Did anybody tell us that we had to be in our rooms by a
No!
certain time? Okay.
No, nobody's
Are we-
making them stay in.
Are we?
Shut up! It's funner if
Am
we're
I-
sneaking out.
Am I trying to sneak or am I trying to hide?
Either way, it's stealth. So,
Right, but I have a special thing if I'm hiding.
well,
Use
it's
the special
sneak
thing.
because you're
Okay.
moving. It's
Okay.
hide if you're in one place.
Okay.
Oh no.
That was a fun
I
laugh.
have to do a lot of math. Just a minute.
So much math. Don't ask me. I'm off the clock.
42.
Well, you solved the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And you sneak out for drinks.
And no one sees you. You are ghost haunting this temple.
With pruny fingers because I sat in the bathtub for a long time.
Amazing.
So,
42
Jill,
just
you're
pops in
just
here.
like, you're just waiting there.
I
And
want to try to sneak up on Callista.
You don't know she's there.
Oh, right. That's fair.
She's like invisible.
she
because
sneaks up on me.
She's sneaking up on you. So you're just standing there waiting, trying to see if you can see her so you can try to sneak up on her when suddenly
I just stand there.
you turn around, she's just there.
You are.
It's time to go.
It is time to go. You are a ton better at that than me. And I like put my arm right around Callista and we go out and we sneak out. We pretend we're sneaking, but even though we don't need to sneak.
Wait, for real? Try to go over the wall too, right? Not like out the gate.
100%. This is our first. I as we get to the wall, I'm like, this is our first challenge of the night. Let's see who can vault a wall better. I bet you I can.
Is there a problem if we get caught, or is there like Nurse Ratchet somewhere? Like,
Leith and Seamus are just like strolling through the courtyard, like, what are they doing?
Jill likes to make her own fun, okay?
I made a non-natural 20 acrobatics check. What is Callista's?
Is acrobatics? Is that what we're doing? Not climb?
Yeah.
That's what I have chosen.
Okay.
She's choosing to parkour over the wall.
Well, I'm going to copy her because, it's got to be cool.
That'd be cool.
Parkour.
Like a 30.
And I got a 24.
Ah! Ah!
And as always, you are shown up.
Super upsetting. I say, one of these days, I'm going to beat you at something. You just watch, and then I'm going to never let you forget it.
There are lots of things you're better than me at.
Jill just kind of laughs. Like, what?
What, close quarters combat? I cannot fight with axes. Also, apparently, relationships.
Oh, God. Way to make it a bummer, Callista.
I am sorry. I am good at that.
Classic Callista.
Like, well, let's go drown our sorrows then. And
Sounds
we
like a
kinda-
wonderful idea.
I start walking back. Jill's been to Waterdeep. She knows where there's a good hole in the wall bar.
Yes,
as
you
we go, I'm kind of trying not to let Callista know I'm doing it, but I'm still sort of looking around at the different buildings for something specific.
Okay, make a perception check.
Me or her?
Jill.
Oh. Do I notice that she's looking around for stuff?
You can make a sense motive to see if you pick up.
I actually got a 29.
Nice.
Since motive is 27.
Yes, you know
Jesus
Jill well
Christ.
enough to know when she's casually glancing around. You know Jill well enough to know when she's like on alert looking for if someone's following you. That is not what Jill's doing. Her eyes are traveling across buildings, across people sometimes and what they're wearing. Like she's looking for something specific.
I don't say anything. I do, however, look around us to make sure that no one is specifically watching us or appears to be taking too big of an interest in us.
Okay. Well, with your, I'll just use your same sense motive. You would not notice anybody unusual.
Super. Then watching each other and watching everything and doing all we do, we eventually end up at a great hole in the wall bar called the
Unsoiled bucket.
I would hope
just
it's
got-
Straight from the
unsoiled.
soiled bucket, you don't want to go there.
I just kind of raised my eyebrows at Jill.
Listen, Callista, the crack fries here are unforgettable. And I just like lead her inside.
I'll take your word for it.
So you guys will head inside. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Amos and
Yeah.
Leith.
So Seamus turns to Leith and says, do you feel like our friends like went out without us or something? You want to like send them a message and see if, text them, see what they're up to?
Text them, see what they're up to.
I can try and send a message, but depending on how far away they went, they might not get it.
I thought you had a pretty good range.
Eons can send messages further than I can.
Oh,
I'm
right.
sort of just people that are around here. And Leith will just try and send a message and presumably not. get a
Yeah, they're
response.
out of range of your spell.
Well, crap. feeling a little left out, if I'm being honest.
Katya comes padding around the corner. Are they out walking? Or are you in your
I
room?
love that you say
No,
she
they're
comes
back.
padding around the corner.
They're back in the hallway, so yeah, she's still there.
She comes padding out of her and Callista's room and just kind of stands there.
Are there
Looking up
any
at them.
other clocks in this temple that we would find as we're just wandering around?
Make a perception check.
Just wandering around looking at clocks with Leith. Classic.
And the cat.
Natural 20. I could tell that look on your face.
It's like going to the fabric store with my mother.
Let's go to Marshall's.
Oh, God. You got 2 hours? Ugh.
Let's go to
Okay.
Joanne Fabrics.
Here's what you find. You guys are peeking in rooms, kind of walking around. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just like casually like doing a glance and
We're
if
just
it's empty?
casually walking around.
Okay, that's what I thought. You guys would look in one room, and it would seem to be like a cleric's area for healing. So there are some people who are actually like in sick beds, and there are clerics in there who are praying over them. You see the light of magic spells being cast. So you guys head out of there. Not very interesting to look at. And then you would find another set of like big doors, but they're not locked. So you can just like push them open, and they open into a large round chamber that up ahead, it has like a wooden stand that's raised up, and there's a golden metallic symbol of Tyr hanging on the front of it. And above this stand on the wall, there is an extravagant clock that it has like a pattern design, like of different leaves and things that come off from different sides of it, and like spider out across the walls. So it's kind of horizontal.
Can I make an investigation check on the clock to see if it is familiar
If you'd
handiwork?
like to go in there, then yes.
I will.
Okay. You walk in, you would see there are rows that are facing towards the stand, and it's impossible to deny that you're in some kind of courtroom when you are in here.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So, Leith, is this one of the nicer clocks that you've seen, or,
It's all right. I rolled. This be perception, 16 plus 8, so 24.
Weren't you doing what do you want to know about it? What are you trying to do?
See if it is familiar handiwork or has a craftsman symbol. or something
Perception,
on it.
that would do then, yeah.
Yeah, 24.
if it was made by a rival clockmaker?
That'd be fun.
All right. This clock is not made by your family, but it is made by a clockmaker you would recognize.
Is there any sort of sound to it with like a pendulum swinging
Yes.
or even just the hands ticking?
It has a tick to it.
Leith is just going to kind of sit cross-legged on the floor in front of it for a minute and just kind of
Okay.
staring up at it and just say, Seamus, do you ever get homesick?
Seamus pulls out his pipe and packs it with some herbs, and then starts to smoke his pipe and says, "Sometimes, but," and then he kind of looks down at Leith and notices how enamored he is with this clock, and he says, "Leith, what does the clock say to you?"
Oh, that frickin' clock.
That sound. Ooh.
It might be easier if I showed you.
Can you do that?
And Leith will just hold a hand out towards Seamus.
Don't take his
Oh,
hand,
I
bro.
grab it. I grab the fuck out of that hand.
I want that hand.
Is Katya still with us?
Grab the paw. Grab the paw. We're all going.
Leith will just kind of make eye contact with the panther and put a hand on her shoulder.
Oh,
Okay.
And cast teleport.
What?
And I would like to teleport to a very familiar workshop
Yep.
that I grew up in.
What?
The Colfin Clock Workshop. All the way on the other side of the continent.
Okay. Do you want to describe
Oh,
your?
Wow.
Do I have to? I got to do the percentage roll to see how.
Yep.
Because you know how I do with percentage dice, and there's a good chance that we end up somewhere wrong.
And I turn to. Are we there yet?
He's got to roll first.
Don't make him turn this teleport around.
I rolled a 4, so we're perfectly fine, and we would appear.
It is so familiar to you that it's almost impossible to you that you would not be able to recognize this place.
I turn
And it's
to.
eerie because you hear the ticking of the clock in the temple, and without skipping a beat, it just gets louder as we show up in the center of a workshop floor, still sitting cross-legged, but now there are just dozens of clocks lining the wall. There's a workbench. There are some that are on display for sale, and hopefully it is empty because it is evening and no one should be there.
And I turn to the panther and I say, I don't think we're in water deep anymore, Katya.
I don't think we're
There is no one here.
What, dude? Oh my god. Nobody's here.
This is where
It's
I grew
empty,
up.
just full of clocks. Do you want to describe the interior of the building for us, Fred?
It's a fairly simple workshop, but there are workbenches with tools, large lenses to work on watches and smaller timepieces, and incredibly ornate and simple clocks ranging in all shapes and sizes with fantastic scroll work, leafing. There is like cuckoo clocks that have, different mechanic pieces to it. And it's just sort of a dull cacophony of whirring gears and ticking pendulums. And yeah, the ceiling is a little bit low. Seamus would probably have to hunch if he went out the door. But you can see like the front half is very much a store for people to come in and make purchases. The back half is definitely sort of a workshop for someone to craft and build all of these things. And it's almost like overcrowded with the amount of clocks and things that are there.
Seamus, as someone who comes from a temple where often meditation services would be had in like almost complete quiet or maybe with some bells here or there, this is the polar opposite of where you came from. It is a constant noise.
So, like, Seamus, looks around, and if I'm being honest, he's feeling some anxiety.
Maddening.
At this exact moment, he's like, Leith, this is, little unsettling.
All right, well, we don't have to stay long. Frankly, it's probably better if we don't. I'm not entirely sure I'm welcome here anymore.
Make perception checks.
Oh my god, your brother's coming home.
There any light, like bouncing off glass clock faces? Are there any like dancing pieces of light on the floor or anything?
Oh, God. Is there a laser
17?
pointer anywhere?
I mean, there's some light coming in the window, and yeah, it's like front moonlight reflecting off some of the surfaces.
Is it just a steady square though, or is it like
it's
moving
not.
around?
There's
Okay.
nothing moving.
Okay.
What'd you get?
17?
17? Okay, that's enough. You would think you hear a sound outside of maybe like a carriage approaching or a cart or something.
Abort.
We should probably get out of here quickly. Is there like a watch that is a work in progress sitting out on
Make a
workbench?
perception check.
Don't steal from here, Leith.
25.
I don't know if
Yes.
it's stealing.
You know exactly where the workstation is that they work on those, so you go right to it. And yeah, there's one that's in process.
I would like to grab that unfinished watch
Yep.
and then I'll walk back and hold a hand out to Seamus, put a hand back on Katya, and attempt to teleport us back to the room with the clock in the temple.
Okay, you're gonna need to roll once more your teleportation check.
My God.
This is the one I'm more concerned about.
Great sound effect, by the way. Thank you, Sirenscape.
Brought to you by Sirenscape.
Oh no.
Hold on, I gotta look. I rolled a
No!
95?
That doesn't sound good.
No, that's much higher than I'm comfortable with.
That would be a great time, audience members, for an action
Action
point.
point? Anybody have an action point in reserves? By the
It's
way,
a very familiar. Oh, no, because you're going to the temple, which
Which
you've
would be
seen
studied
casually.
carefully, so
Yeah.
we'd be off target.
Okay, off target, unless anyone wants to interfere.
you're freaking kidding me, dude.
Off target's not
We
that
can
bad.
wait for. We'll have to wait for the chat if we're gonna do that.
The chat has just.
Chat is silent.
Action point! Action point! Action point!
Action point!
Hey, utterly adorable! Who did it?
Hashtag utterly adorable. Who is that?
Who is it? So I can verify
Utterly
their action
adorable.
point.
Utterly adorable. Who are you, bro? I hate to,
Identify yourself.
I hate to break the anonymity, but who are you, utterly adorable?
At least the first name.
If you know
Last
what.
initial.
Oh, it's Rachel.
Rachel,
Okay.
bless
Yeah.
your heart.
Okay,
Rachel
all right.
has one.
Time to see if it's worth it. As you will get to roll again, sir. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. Mwah.
Maybe it'll be worse. Maybe I'll roll 100.
I mean, we could have landed in a brick wall.
Screw you, bro.
What'd you
I rolled a
get?
97 this time,
Oh,
which is still off target.
Brad, you're fired.
I shouldn't be allowed to roll percentile die ever.
Yeah, remember that time we rolled for the penis size? Didn't
I
go
do,
good
I
either.
do.
We owe Rachel something nice.
How far off is off target?
It's a random number that we roll.
Oh,
It's a D,
So like-
a
like
D
we could end-
percentage of the distance to travel, so it could be anywhere along the way.
Oh, I thought maybe we'd like accidentally end up in
that's-
Beyonce and Galen's room or
Way
something.
away. It could be anywhere between here and like where you guys started.
But okay, but he can like sleep and then try this again.
Are you
like
telling
tomorrow?
me-
no, because he's already teleporting. So
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
right.
I have more castings of the spell.
Okay.
So if we land somewhere we don't want
It's
to be,
fine.
I can try
So
it.
I need you to roll another 100 to see what percent off target you are. 100
Small.
is the worst.
One small.
Small is good.
Small.
I swear to God, Brad, if you blow this.
What are the units of this off target?
frickin'
Are we
roll,
talking
Brad.
miles?
Just freaking roll, Brad.
The unit is
Roll.
percentages.
It's a percent of the distance.
It's
Oh,
a
no.
percent. Of course, the word percent comes from per 100.
6.
Oh, that's good.
That's
good.
That's not
Apparently,
bad.
my D100s only
still
roll
far.
in
They
the
only
top
roll
or
the
bottom
extremes.
percentile.
That's
Amazing.
still really far by percentage, but
Let me look at a map while that's happening. Callista
it's
and
across the
Jill,
continent.
why don't you talk at the bar?
All right.
We're sitting at the bar and we finally, so I've called over the bartender and asked him to give us something, not the strongest thing they have on the house, but like pretty strong. And I slide him, I actually slide him like 5 gold and I just say, keep it coming, me and the tiefling.
All right, they got a Mephit hard cider. He'll bring you.
Oh, that's
Yes.
adorable. And I like hard cider. So
There you go.
by I mean Carrie, also Jill. But I just kind of say to Callista, I'm like, so just so you can be an extra set of eyes, while we're here, if you happen to see this, and I like pull my dagger off my hip and I like point at the symbol on the pommel. And I say, if you happen to see this on any of the buildings or, you know, like any of the people or anywhere, really, if you could just let me know, that would be helpful.
I study the symbol. What is it?
To be honest, I don't really know. I know that the dagger was my dad's, and I know he's here somewhere. And so if you could, just keep an eye out, it would. I think I want to meet him, to know at least who he is and what he's about, and I think I'm ready. So if you could help out, that'd be great.
Of course. Does the symbol look familiar to me in any way? Would I have encountered it in the past?
It's nothing that you have seen before. I do have a picture of it. I have to upload it a second.
It's cool. Yeah, take your time. And at all this time, I'm kind of like looking over my shoulder at the people around the tavern, and just sort of like, then I finally like lean to Callista. I'm like, so what'd you think about the temple?
Well, they're full of themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretentious as shit, right?
I have to
Right?
say, I mean, when Beyonce was, kind of, I was annoyed because he was showing off at first, but then that other paladin came up, and
Yeah.
I think perhaps Beyonce's, while our upbringings were very different, I think we perhaps share some common elements in our past. He made an allusion to Beyonce not having earned. That is what I took from what he said, that he did not think Beyonce earned his position.
You're saying you don't think you earned your position?
I do not think that, no, but I was accused of that many times.
Oh, like
I
by
was-
the people you grew up with and the
Yes, because I was my father's daughter, I supposedly received special treatment. It was not true. It was never true. He did not love me. Does not love me. He cares nothing for me other than what kind of a tool I could be for him. What good I could, what help I could provide to secure his place in the organization. But that was lost on some people, especially one girl who really hated me.
what was her name?
Her name was Tessera.
Callista, you never really talked about what happened that made you leave. What happened that made you leave?
Well, she was wrapped into it. I can only surmise that she let her jealousy keep growing. And she somehow, I know she was behind it. She found out somehow about me and Theris. And I am sure, like the little rat she was, she ran to my father with it. Either he knew, he had to know. But it was a setup. They set him up on a mission. Set him up to be killed. And when I found out, I returned to the common area of our compound, and she was there, smirking, so full of herself. And I knew, I just knew, she was responsible for his death. His blood was on her hands. And the rest of them knew too. They were all there, and they were... And I grabbed her by the neck and I accused her, and she laughed at me. And while she kept laughing, I slit her throat. And looked into her eyes as she died. And it did nothing to assuage the anger building up inside of me. I thought it would make me feel better, but it did not. And I snapped, and all of the rest of them, I could hear them laughing at me. And I killed them all. And I would have kept going. My father was my next stop, but he was not there. And I knew I needed to leave because, well, that would not go unpunished. Especially if he had sanctioned Theros' death in the first place, which I have no doubt that he did. So I left. And I hoped that with my absence, his empire would crumble. But it would seem that it did not.
Do you have, at this point, Jill has very subtly, while Callista is telling this story, ordered she and Callista another drink.
Out there, set down in front of you at this point.
As Callista is finishing her story, Jill kind of ever so slightly slides Callista's drink to her and just says, this is probably a stupid question, but was Theros buried anywhere? Is there anywhere you could go to visit him? Pay tribute?
Not know. I do not know what they did with his body. I mean, generally, operatives who fell were thrown in some kind of unmarked common grave.
Well, was there anywhere that was special to the two of you? Maybe we could pay a visit to that spot and put up a stone or something? Yeah?
We had a few spots that, we had to be careful where we spent time together because there are eyes everywhere, you know. We got careless at the end. It was partially my fault. I knew better. He was reckless. And I should have been more vigilant, and I was not. And if only we had kept it more under wraps. We were going to leave. We were making plans to leave, to get out to. Oh, he had so many dreams about starting a new life far away. Where?
Did he ever give you anything to think of him? Remember him by?
Yeah. I do have something. I rarely pull it out anymore because it is like ripping that scab off all over again every time I look at it. But I will also never get rid of it. It was the silliest thing. He bought me a music box. Me. But I'm not usually that sentimental, but yeah, it was like the day before he died that he gave it to me.
I put my hand at that point on Callista's forearm. I assume she's sitting on the bar. And I just we will find a way to kill your father, Callista.
Oh yes. Yes, if it ends my life, I will end his.
Well, if we die sober, that would be a sin. And at that point, I call for the bartender, I'm like, shots. And I call him over and I ask for like the nicest whiskey.
Yep,
them up.
and they will start lining them up. Meanwhile,
I will say, I think perhaps we should go back in the gate instead of trying to go over the wall again. Maybe it would not go
please go
quite
over
as
the
well
wall.
this time.
Jill, who is getting a little tipsy at this point, is like, I couldn't agree more. And then, boof.
all right, swipe screen out of the tavern.
Meanwhile,
Seamus
at the Hall of
and
Justice.
Leith.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of
quite.
Justice.
Not quite. We'll get there in a second. Seamus and Leith, you find yourselves looking around. You and Katya, you are deep inside of a forest as it is growing dark.
Leith, this doesn't seem like where we're supposed to be, Leith.
I haven't exactly done this before.
Where the hell are we, Leith?
Meanwhile, wherever the fuck Seamus and Leith are,
I'm not entirely sure, but we probably shouldn't stick around here for long. So,
I'm open to suggestions.
give me your hand, and he'll reach out for Katya.
Katya's
and-
pretty good with, like, does this seem familiar? Does this terrain seem familiar at all?
Not specifically to her, no,
Okay.
other than it's a forest, so she's comfortable enough.
And Leith is going to focus really hard on the ticking of the clock back in that room
Okay.
and cast teleport again.
Oof. All right.
Seamus, like,
Is this your last
winces
one?
As it,
I have one more after this.
Okay.
oh.
All right. Roll it again, buddy.
Oh, please. Anything under 90 would be good.
Yeah.
Seamus just making that straining noise, like trying to help.
What did you roll?
58.
Oh,
Okay. As you focus on that sound, all of the sounds of the forest fade out around you, and you have that single clock come back in. You are back inside of the Hall of Justice.
Okay, that's better.
And then you hear a voice behind you say, "What in tears name do you think you're doing?" And now we're going to cut away to Beyonce.
oh my God. Awesome.
That's all right.
Awesome.
What portion of the night are we on?
All right.
Round two.
Fight.
Two. Who do you think you're talking to here?
Finish him.
All right.
Oh no, that was my last one. So that's a good thing.
God damn
Oh.
it, Brad.
I thought so.
Oh,
so, Beyonce, you are lying in your lover's arms here after a very enthusiastic and extended hello.
Welcome home.
So that Beyonce's gonna say, "Oh, that was much needed." Chains of light spell, really good, right?
That one was new.
oh my.
Chains of light. Are you kidding me?
Definitely a spell that Leith did not take.
6th level spell, by the way.
Whoa!
Oh, it's so good to see you. I have so much. I don't know where do we start. How are you? Like we can tell stories later. How are you?
I am better now.
Me too.
Now that you are here. I understand, of course, what has drawn you away from me. But it does not make me feel any less selfish about hoarding you to myself when I can.
Unfortunately, our circumstances have a tendency to bring us apart.
They do.
I don't wish it that way either, but
Noachi, have you ever thought that this arrangement between us is just as ill-advised.
Maybe, but I never gave it any serious thought. Do you?
If it meant that I could see you but once every quarter century or less, I would still have you be mine.
Oh, God.
If tonight is any proof, I would be happy to do this at least every quarter century.
Let's just pencil that in. Put it on the book.
Quite skilled at making up for lost time.
Oh, my God.
Was a bit pent up.
He was getting cranky.
Dude, oh, my God. I love it. I love it so much.
I must say, I'm glad you kept the wings for a bit.
Oh,
I thought you'd like that.
hot.
And I thought you'd like to learn Victoria's secret.
What's
What?
Victoria's Secret?
Wings? Anybody? No.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got it. Your in-character love interest probably doesn't understand.
But it's good to be around someone who understands me again.
I will always know you. And they reach up and very gently, like run a hand over your eye patch that's still on.
Oh.
Yes,
Very gently.
I didn't warn you about that, but I apologize, but me being me, it's
This is something that could be healed, but you have not chosen to have it so. I imagine this is not a scar left from battle.
no, it was a willing sacrifice.
God.
What could implore you to do such a thing?
You see that sword over there?
And they
And I'll point to
look over to where
Justifier.
wherever Justifier and
And it is laid so nicely and
Justify's got to
prominently.
use the side
in
view.
the middle of everything. Beyonce's like, hold on.
Hold up.
As
it
though
over.
watching
Like a
them
sock
make
stuck
love.
to the end of it.
God damn it.
Yes, dude.
That is a holy weapon bestowed to me from Tyr himself. But in return for the power that he was going to bestow upon me, he required a sacrifice. And he asked me to give up my sight. And I did it willingly. It hurt a lot. Like, it hurt a lot.
How was
But-
it taken? A brand. Did someone take it from you?
No, I had to take it myself.
Oh,
I
oh my God.
And their fingers just very gently caress your cheek and then bend down and kiss your chest once and say, I should not let you out of my sight.
Oh.
Well, you know how you get out of mine? You go to my left.
And they just kind of grin wickedly. Well, I'm glad to see
But-
you have not entirely changed.
Oh, I love it.
Book of the evening.
Believe me, I've changed a lot, but I'm still more or less myself.
More, it seems.
Oh.
I have to say, this adventure, it has humbled me and emboldened me at the same time.
It is not an adventure. It sounds as though you are on a true quest.
Quest.
It certainly feels that way.
Oh, badass.
How long do you intend to stay?
Here, at the Halls of Justice,
They nod.
I don't know. We delivered a very powerful object that's. The reason we are here was to deliver a powerful object that's we had to remove from the wrong hands. And right now, we don't really have anything that's really pulling us away at this very moment,
And you'll
But-
stay.
as long as Tyr allows me.
Good. I need your help with something.
Is that so? What can I help with?
Fan club.
Someone on the black market here in Waterdeep has been claiming to sell dragon eggs.
Selling dragon eggs?
Yes,
Stealing them from clutches?
metallic dragons.
Oh no.
Is it
Bahamut has sent us to put a stop to this.
he'll really be quiet with this and say, is this any you know?
Yes,
And I will do anything I can.
I thought so. But that is something we can worry about in the morning.
I like the way you think.
Round 3.
Bang back out.
Test your might.
Sonia.
So if we're still at the tavern drinking,
Yep.
I'll kind of look up at Jill and say, so we have
Not
done
my
it.
late. I will be right back.
Yeah, we have completed the task that was asked of us when we were rescued from Shaw's domain.
We have.
Oh shit.
Now,
Yep.
what happens to Seamus?
Oh shit. I just,
Oh shit.
I
well,
didn't want to
we-
bring it up in front of the others because
We don't. Well, Callista, we don't know for sure if it's taken care of yet. I don't think it's taken care of until. I mean, think about it. This is and Jill. Callista would notice because she knows Jill very, very well that she's almost like frantically explaining this away, like with hope sort of in her voice. Like, we don't know that it's the end yet. I mean, this was the second sundering. For all we know, there's 7 sunderings or something. Like, we don't know that this is it.
yeah, that's
I
good.
mean,
we
that's
do
good.
not know, but I am afraid that we will wake up one morning and Seamus will not, and we will not even have been able to say goodbye because she did not tell us how.
And Jill shakes her head and she's like, Callista, stop. We don't know. We don't know anything. If we don't know it, it's not worth worrying about. We'll talk to Seamus about it some other time. But
Would it be better to not talk to him about it? Because if he does not remember, then you would be happier if he did not remember it. Right?
and Jill kind of like, she's speechless. And she just sort of shakes her head and looks at Callista and she's like, we won't talk to him about it.
I feel like
We should say what we need to say to him.
I am frustrated because I feel like this is the family that I never had, and I am afraid of losing my family. I've never had this before. Acceptance and even perhaps love?
Callista.
She's like trying to look at you, but her eyes are a little unfocused.
Yeah, right.
The only reason she's getting this emotional.
If you have the chance to say goodbye, I would take it. Coming from someone who didn't necessarily get a chance to say goodbye, it would be nice if it's nice to have the chance. So.
It would have been.
And at this moment, Jill and Callista have sort of realized that their situations are more similar than either of them have ever given it credit for. But right this moment, it's frickin' like a mirror. And Jill just sort of raises her glass to Callista and then just hopefully, clink. And then there's probably 2/3 of a drink left, and then wha-bam, and then orders another one.
Fuck.
Meanwhile,
I forgot about Seamus's deal.
I completely forgot as well until just this moment.
Sorry, y'all.
Seamus is like, oh no, we were too good at our jobs.
Feel like maybe the game master forgot too, Liz, until
What?
just now. So
I'm pretty sure she didn't.
Actually, this person coming into the room to talk to us, that's Seamus's reckoning. Surprise!
What are you doing? You're supposed to die now. That's what
I'm
comes
here
next.
to take him.
I'm here to reap you.
Are we there? Are
Come
we
to
there
me,
again?
my child.
All right. Anyway, we are going back there for real, and that is not what is happening. As far as you know. When you turn around, the person you are looking at is actually a half-orc. It looks like a middle-aged half-orc woman who has like a kind of beat up set of banded mail going on underneath, like a coat that has some markings of tear on it, a pretty fancy coat, and has rather moppish hair that's in a bowl cut, basically. And she has gray eyes that are slightly larger than normal, and she's looking at you with disdain and as if you are committing some kind of blasphemy.
Yes. Sorry.
Evening.
I was looking for the cafeteria. I heard there was a late night taco option available.
Quite hungry. We've come a long way.
You used magic to get here.
Like I said, we've come a long way. We're quite famished.
Well, no.
You cannot teleport into the tribunal of the halls of justice.
Well, that
not a rule.
Literally, they can.
That was sort of a whoopsie daisy on our part. We were here before, but then we left and we wanted to come back.
Her big arms cross in front of her, and
the thing.
she calls gods. And immediately you hear footsteps jogging down the hallway.
Excuse me,
A
have you?
rule that's posted somewhere? Because if it is, we missed it.
And are you familiar with a strapping young fellow named Justicar Beyonce by chance?
When you say Justicar, there's nothing, but you say Beyonce just as these guards are starting to flood in and go past her, and she puts up a hand and they halt.
Does she do this?
Leith grabs the back of Seamus's robe and has a hand on Katya and is ready to just bamf out of this room again with a spell.
Yes,
We're scatting, guys.
we are good friends with Beyonce. I am actually Beyonce's mentor, and this Leith is an excellent friend of Beyonce. We've been on many adventures, and he will speak fondly of us, I'm sure.
Make a diplomacy check, and if you want to help Leith, you can. It's up to you.
Oh God, you better
Can
help.
Leith helping just be him being quiet?
That is helpful.
Yeah, but you still have to roll. It would be for nice puppy dog eyes.
I will totally do that.
15?
Okay.
This is diplomacy.
Yeah. You need a 10.
24.
That'll boost us to a 17. So Leith wisely keeps his mouth shut for once in his life, which definitely helps the situation. And she says, well, that should be easy enough to find out. Apparently he is back.
Yeah, he came
He
with
might be a
us.
bit
There's
busy
probably a sock on the door.
at the moment.
He's busy. He's busy.
Yes, he was greeting an old friend, and that we were told the greeting could take some time.
I doubt it is more important than this. And
It might be.
Hey,
she says, have them wait here, and she'll turn around and start stalking out of here.
Oh,
Leith is going to
God.
try and cast a message to Beyonce.
Yep. Now's the time. Now's the time. Let him know.
Now's the time.
And he's just like, Beyonce, I am so sorry to interrupt whatever you might be doing.
Beyonce's having a cigarette. And he's like,
Listen,
"What's
I are
up?"
in trouble.
Yeah, what portion of the night am I in?
Hey, like, you
He
got to
does
take the
this.
costume off now.
You're in round 3 right now.
Got to put the whip back in the drawer.
He's trying to figure out if he can make this work.
Hold on, I'm almost finished.
Just a minute.
Leith is going to wait like 5-10 seconds, and if he doesn't get a response, he's going to message again.
Leith, you forgot to say you can respond to this message.
Wow. He should know by now.
I know.
I would know.
He should.
Would definitely say like busy.
Here's the thing.
Is your partner
Apparently
mad that you
you're not
answered the
supposed to
phone just now?
Travel to a tribunal room? There were no rules posted, and, well, someone's mad.
Someone's mad.
Damn it, Leith.
This is a mood killer right here.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, this is a
yeah,
majorly
Beyonce's like yeah, that's a melty man thing right there. It's-
womp.
It might be, but like you're being like picked up and slammed against the wall right now, Beyonce.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what's happening?
Hell.
That
forgot
chains
how
of light
strong
spell,
you
he's
were.
totally restrained.
Yep. Just think of baseball, Beyonce.
I like to imagine, yes, amazing.
Beyonce will finish.
I like to imagine Leith and Beyonce both being slammed against walls in very different circumstances.
Now, plus Beyonce knows. And plus, Beyonce knows if Leith is in trouble, it's his fault. So it's
100%.
But
Nice.
maybe there are innocent bystanders, Beyonce, who are also involved. Think about
He's
that.
pressed up kind of close to Leith.
Beyonce, there is a knock on your door. And Galen says, go away. Now is not the time.
kinda busy.
And Beyonce, you hear the familiar voice of Kuga Gentry calling out, Beyonce, we have some potential intruders who say that they know you, but they were teleporting inside of the tribunal chamber.
Yeah, Beyonce's gonna like stop for a second. It's like, yes, those dumbasses are with me.
That's fair.
Yes, that's the next t-shirt. Yes, those dumbasses are with me.
It would be applicable in a lot of
Look,
circumstances.
please,
It's to be one of those, like, I'm with stupid shirts, but
Yeah.
this dumbass is with me. and
2
there's an
arrows just
arrow.
pointing one in each direction. One slightly up, one slightly down.
Yes.
Please
Those are the
forgive their
height
dumbassery and leave me alone.
Very well. Clears their throat, and then off she goes.
Dumbasses are with me. Amazing. Amazing. Perfect.
So good.
Perfect.
All right. Well, then she will come back and she will come inside, and she doesn't look happy about it. But she says, all right, he has claimed you.
I mean, I
He
suppose.
makes exactly that face of like,
What the fuck does that mean?
Turn to Leith and I say, claimed us, my God.
My God.
But I would recommend that you stop wandering around to where you are not welcome.
Well, if you could please point us towards the tacos, this wouldn't be a problem.
You will not find any tacos here.
Well, that's just false advertising.
Yeah, seriously, they said it was Taco Tuesday. I'm sorry.
And then she just like gestures to the guards and they start like walking out, like pushing you guys forward, basically.
Pushing the panther too.
No, they're not pushing. It's just like they're bodily walking and, you have to walk unless you want them to shove into you.
Just for the record, if you're not supposed to teleport someplace, post some signage or like when people are welcomed and invited to stay, maybe introduce the rules of the establishment. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think you've learned the most important one.
Have we?
What exactly is a
Probably
tribunal room do? What's
Oh my God. It's for
Here.
fucking tribunals.
Tyr is a god of justice.
Sure, yeah.
We
Sign up
have
for that.
We have many trials that take place here at the temple.
And this is the room where those okay, sure.
The room where it happens.
It didn't seem like anybody
This
was
is
using
the
it. And it's a very
room.
fine timepiece.
This is the room where Tyr's divine justice is meted, carried out.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Seamus has at this point drifted off and is completely not paying attention.
Yeah, that sounds
Well,
about
you
Can
have a
Katya
lovely
figure out
evening,
what's going
and I
on?
apologize for breaking your unposted rules. And Leith will just like run as fast as he can to catch up to
His
Seamus.
little old legs. All right.
Sorry
Katya will
about
take
that.
off.
Didn't
Well,
mean to get us in trouble.
It's all
Well,
good.
I mean, we seem to get away from it just fine, so I don't know. We could go smoke a joint in the room or something.
I'd be game for that. And as they're walking, Leith will once again message Beyonce, knowing full well that he is busy. And just say, appreciate the help. Thanks for, claiming us, whatever that means.
Wait.
And he's probably like getting there, and then it just takes him right out of it. It's,
Yep.
Leith.
Did you have something to say?
You got any more messages that you could use?
I can do it as long as you'd like.
Tell Beyonce.
I can do this all day.
Tell Beyonce there's a dragon in the hall. Let's do it. Let's play a prank.
So Beyonce, I know you're in the middle of something. But there's also a dragon in the hall?
Beyonce will actually stop and say, like, excuse me, I need to go kill my friends. Let's. He's gonna put on a robe and
Galen is also like reaching over for a robe and it's like, well, I hope you can watch.
Amazing. Yes.
But please do.
Okay.
Is this how we get to meet Galen?
Yes.
This is how it happens.
After all this time, this is how it happens.
So we're
Only you.
Beyonce's shitty friends.
So you go out in the hall and there's no dragon in the hallway, and then Galen will follow you out and you guys can go down to Leith and Seamus's room.
and Katya have come in with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So like Leith and Seamus and Katya are all sitting in a circle, passing some
Smoking a
stuff.
joint. Are you trying to make Katya?
It's like,
The concept of smoking might be beyond her.
like, Katya, you gotta hold it in. Hold it in.
Is this animal abuse?
It's not. It's not.
No, because we can talk to her about it.
True.
Yeah,
We can get consent. It's all right.
it's all right.
All right,
It's
it's
fine.
up.
All right, PETA approved.
Okay, well then, Beyonce's gonna knock on their door if he can
Hurry,
find it.
this room has been claimed.
Yep.
He's gonna open up the door and cast chains of light on Leith.
Oh, and like as the door swings open, Seamus is like using his bathrobe to blow the smoke away.
Did you prepare
Choosing her tail.
two chains
did.
of light? Okay,
I
good.
did.
All right,
I
good.
did. And he's gonna look over at,
That
to,
is it's a
to Galen
reflex save,
and
Lou.
and
I'm just going to let it
Galen
happen.
and say,
Just take it by
I'm sorry,
surprise and
we
will
can't
not
use this
resist.
again tonight.
All right, can you explain your spell and what happens here, please?
So basically, he's going to like clap his hands together, and like it's going to look like his hands are going to go up past his face, and it's going to look like manacles. And then he's going to pull up, and chains of like celestial light come and just intertwine him, like wrap him up in every way.
Oh.
I turn to Leith and I say, I think he might be mad.
He's gonna run up and, you've been nothing but trouble this whole damn time. Can't you just give me one moment of peace?
And a figure steps into the doorway and kind of like leans against the doorway here. So let me show a picture.
Is it a dragonborn? Is it a dragonborn?
No.
It is not a dragonborn.
It is not a dragonborn.
Oh, hey.
Galen's hot.
Hey, Galen.
Of course, Galen's hot.
Yeah.
Galen
Have you seen
has
Beyond's?
pretty like golden skin and hair as well, and is just wrapped up like in a fancy robe that they stole out of the room, kind of slightly hanging open so you can see some of their chest, which is impressive. It's it's there.
Packs for days.
Packs for days. It's damn true. And also, you notice that they have silver eyes as well. So that's that.
Have you met Galen?
Galen leans an elbow like against the arch of the doorway here. And
The name's
just
Leith
says,
Culphin. You haven't heard of me. What you
What
will.
you will.
You say all wrapped up in these chains.
I'm envisioning like Leith Spider-Man trapped in like the upper corner near the ceiling.
like webbed up.
Amazing.
Yeah, just. So that. Got anything more to say for yourself as to why you are going into the tribunal and why you are interrupting me with this paladin of Bahamut who is very strong? I learned that again today.
Yeah, learn that again.
And they just chuckle.
So the tribunal room, no signage to be seen or
Yeah,
spoken of.
really just unclear about how to get around in general. I mean, you know.
I was just admiring.
There's a
the clock.
literal plaque outside of it.
We must have missed that.
Yeah, it's not big enough.
And
As far as the dragon thing, that was all Seamus's idea.
Galen raises an eyebrow at that and looks at you, Beyonce. The dragon thing?
Yeah, kind of a coincidence, really. But they keep sending me messages in my head. I can't get into it with that.
Oh.
Well, you know, Galen, we're friends. You know, we like to do little jokes sometimes, and we thought it'd be a little fun thing to, you know, just razz him a bit.
Is that what
Leith
that
is
was?
just smiling.
And they look at you, Beyonce.
And Beyonce's just giving them the biggest death stare.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
Katya tried to sense motive to figure out what's going on here.
Yes.
She got a 9.
It's complicated,
So-
Katya.
So she's like
complicated.
pawing at the chains of light, trying to like
Why, he's
free leap.
trapped!
Yeah. So
Oh,
she's
no!
trying to like free leap and looking confusedly at Beyonce, like, what, friends? What?
Yes, so Katya's like coming up and like nuzzling me, I'm guessing.
No, she's trying to paw the chains off
at
Leith.
Leith.
Oh no,
Leith is
I'm sorry,
trapped.
Katya, those aren't coming off for a while.
Yeah, fuck you, Leith.
She
if it's
she
any
goes over,
consolation,
she kind of like nudges at Beyonce, like headbutts him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pet Katya and be like, "Oh, Galen, you should definitely meet Katya. She's the best."
Aw.
And Galen will just like lean down and hold out a hand towards Katya, just waiting for her to approach.
She
She
goes
will.
up and sniffs at Galen.
Okay.
Amazing. Aw.
And Galen just keeps their hand up like this, doesn't move it or anything yet until Katya can sniff around a little bit. And then they just grip their fingers and scooch her under the chin a few times. And Katya seems to eat this up like right away.
Oh,
Something-
they're fast
good
friends.
vibes, good vibes.
If it's any consolation, I do the same thing to Marek.
Well, you're certainly
It's-
the handsomest of all of Beyonce's new companions.
Wait, who is he looking at when he says that?
Katya.
Yeah, Beyonce's just like,
She dyes her hair.
Not even a natural color.
She's not a natural
She's not a natural blonde.
Yeah.
she's every bit as beautiful this way as
She's a
well.
bottle blonde. Don't freaking give her too much credit.
I mean, it's been like 10 days, so there probably is a little sheen of black showing like right at her skin.
Her
Oh,
ribs
yeah.
are showing.
Her ribs
Yeah.
are showing.
Amazing.
Well, this has been fun, but perhaps a lesson is learned.
Ooh.
I certainly hope so. And Beyonce will like catch each of their gazes and be like, "Don't fucking do this again."
Otherwise, perhaps we could get a room moved next to them both.
Oh, so they just all night long.
Yeah,
Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom.
Yep. I'll make the arrangements in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, I think we should arrange them now. And Galen just turns around and struts out of the room.
Hot.
And Beyonce's like, as Galen walks away, like it's gonna be like, "You see what I'm working
As they go to walk out the door, Seamus just grabs the joint and lights it up again and says, "Well, that was weird."
with." Also, Beyonce
Gotcha.
casts silence in their room.
Amazing.
I
Amazing.
rolled to see whether, because she didn't read the situation well, I rolled to see whether she was going to try to follow Galen and Beyonce, but she rolled to stay with the boys.
Okay,
Good.
okay.
Smart. Good.
Smart.
Great.
So I'm up here for like what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
12.
She's again trying to paw the.
I
Are
imagine-
the chains of light corporeal? Like,
Yeah, you can touch them.
Yeah, you just can't break them off.
okay,
You
so
won't
she's
be able to break them
continuing
off.
to try to. She's like grabbing them with
Because
her mouth
it's
and yanking
magic. Yeah.
I
Magic
imagine Leith
web.
just up there be like, I really feel like you overreacted. Just fucking like.
Cast
Like
silence
10
on
minutes
us, so there's not really anything.
You can't
we
even
can
talk
do.
to each other. Yeah. Yep. So you're
How long
just
does silence last?
stuck.
Probably about the same amount of time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, actually.
Seamus
So
just smoking silently and watching.
Can we can move a little bit, right? Like, do I have?
Oh,
enough-
you can move.
You're not chained
Yeah.
up.
You're free. It's only
yeah.
Leith who's chained up.
Yeah, so Seamus takes this opportunity just to like sit down, pulls out his yoga mat, starts to meditate, looks at Leaf. So I'll just be here doing my thing, and you look like you're having a moment, so I'll just be over here.
I'll just be over here.
Oh, it's actually only 12 rounds for silence.
Oh, that's not
So-
bad. That's not, so you'll be
Yeah,
able
so
to
a minute
talk.
later,
Yes.
come on, let me have another puff while I'm stuck up here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. You were gone for a second there. I thought you were a little
There you
too
go.
out of it. There you go.
Yes.
After about a minute, Katya gives up on the chains and just curls up kind of next to Leaf.
Okay. All right. So Galen and Beyonce are going to get their room moved right next to you guys for the evening.
We're gonna start, and we're gonna
Exquisite.
start like round 4 or 5.
Did you just like? Have you had coffee recently or something?
No, they're fine.
No, they're just like it's. Shouldn't you be tired by now?
No.
Nope.
They're not.
Not with this
stopping.
libido.
They're freaking ASMR. They're both ASMR, bro. Like,
Revenge is taken.
It's a new definition to revenge sex.
We have revenge have sex that's revenge on other people.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
It's like the sex grenade.
Later on, do we hear this? Is this happening?
Yeah, that's the point. You literally
You hear it
to make
all.
you hear.
And we're
Yes.
being as loud as we possibly can be.
And they can both be very loud.
So I turned to Leith at a certain point in the night and I said, Leith, what do you think that is?
What do you think that is? Well, give you three
Repeatedly
guesses.
dropping a sandwich?
You know, Sirenscape doesn't have a sound set for this, so
Unfortunate. I will let them know.
Do you think they're hanging a painting or something? It sounds like some sort of repetitive hammering
Like
of some
clatter.
Is it-
It's weird.
kind. Yeah. Huh.
Amos, has anyone ever explained to you the birds and the bees?
Amazing.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I get it. I get
Okay.
it now. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right.
So after a while, after
husbandry.
after the chains have faded and everything,
Yeah.
Tati will get up and she'll walk to the door and she'll kind of look back at Leith and Seamus and she'll walk out into the hallway and kind of like, and then kind of come back and see if they're going to follow. And then
Please
she'll
will
head-
follow if she wants us to.
She's trying, she leads you to her and Callista's room and kind of like cocks her head at you like,
What
do
is
you
it?
want to stay here instead?
What is it, girl? Oh.
I think she's inviting us to, sleep somewhere a bit quieter.
And how loud is it at this exact moment?
Oh, no,
in
it
your
is
room?
the throes of passion.
Yeah.
It's-
Yes, I think we better head.
Probably a good idea.
All right.
So she'll lead you into
So you will sleep
the empty room.
in Katya and Callista's rooms.
How far away is that?
Far enough.
Far enough to at least be able to sleep eventually. And everyone's happy. And then Callista, when you get home, where are you going to sleep?
Well, I mean, we're still drinking, so
All right.
it might depend on how much we've had by the time we
You
get
guys
back.
might just pass out somewhere, like in
Yeah.
the pews.
In the tribunal
in the
room.
pews in the church.
Don't do
All
that.
right.
These people
Well,
are real uptight.
On that note, we're going to wrap at the end of the night here to pick up with your Waterdeep adventures next time.
Amazing.
So that is our show for tonight. And we got-
Yay! Amazing.
A reminder to anyone who missed the beginning today, our next show is actually on a Friday night. It's
Yes.
just a one-off Friday. So it's going to be on Friday, June 18th. Same
Correct.
time, same Twitch channel and all that, just Friday, not Saturday. So don't miss it. Thank you, everyone who joined us live. Thank you, Rachel, for trying your darndest to help them out. And just,
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
That's so
Sorry, I
upsetting.
can't roll like a normal human being.
Yeah, it's cool. Brad will buy you another one.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Yeah, see, well, thank you again to our sponsors, Gaming Paper, Sirenscape, Character Case. Thank you to our artists. Thank you to you guys. We love you. That's it. Have a good night.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
everybody.
See you next month.
Bye.